Oh man, I'm loving all the King of the Hill quotes. Now, Bobby, I don't condone street fights, but dang it, somebody needs to teach that Archeon fella a lesson. Oh, Rado, that was good. That was a winner. I got to work on my hand kill. I used to have an okay one when, like, I was actually watching the show back in the day. It wasn't bad for being a lad. Welcome, guys. So today's King of the Hill. You guys know the drill. Basically, we have a list of competitors here in the tournament Discord, which we can give a link to if anybody's interested in for future events and things like that. And the winner stays on as the king, and then another challenger comes on, etc., etc. We just keep rolling. It's going to be a good time. So let me go ahead and get the show on the road here and pick a map for these guys. So firstly, let's pick a good map and not one of these haggard ones here. We'll do Central Chaos Waits. Here we go. Here's a map. Can use unit caps. King's Cap. Hey guys, welcome. Yes, we're here. King of the Hill. Summon the counts. It is time. All right, cool. So players are going to pick their armies. First map is going to be Central Chaos Wastes, which is a nice map for Bretonnia, I suppose. And it looks like he's going to be facing off against Greenskins, so should be fine nonetheless. Yeah, Sparty just finished streaming. I was waiting for him to finish, actually, because I was tuning in to the end of his stream there. So we're doing it. Yes, praise be. What's up, Zero? How you doing, man? Balthazar Gelt totally would be Dale Gribble. Pocket Sand. Oh, man. King of the Hill. King of the Hill was an amazing show. Like, the whole thing. Cotton was great. Dale, Boomhauer. They were just, it was so perfect. Yeah, welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Let me just double check with people, make sure everyone's good to go here as we get things rolling. All right, perfect. 1 second, guys. I'll be there in just a moment. Just making sure the link to the rules works for all the competitors. All right. I think we're solid. So the first battle is going to be Hadries on the Greenskins facing off against Flying Taco, who shall be leading the proud forces of Bretonnia. Perhaps some Gotrek and Felix, we'll see. Franz would be Hank, Balthazar Gelt would be Dale, Boomhauer would be Toddy. Yeah, but I always forget the name of the last character, the bald guy. And he's like a barber in the military. I always forget his name for some reason. I sell Steam Decks and Steam Deck accessories. It could be Pigtonia, Nate, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that. Most likely not. I mean, I guess it can work. I don't know. This matchup's an interesting one. It's for sure very micro-intensive for the Bretonians. They got to be going pretty ham-bone. Sorry, one last thing, guys. I got to minimize for 1 second longer. All right, perfect. Good to go now, guys. So, for the army of the Bretonians, up in the sky, it looks like it's going to be King Lewin. Always a solid choice. He causes terror. He does have the Lion's Shield. So, Lion's Shield is a really good item, especially against Greenskins, who tend to bring a lot of archers nowadays. It does give him 44% missile resist, and if the Greenskins are going to be going for, let's say, Death Magic or Vindictive Glares, you can pop this to mitigate that damage as well. A very, very good item. On top of that, he does also have the Sword of Corone. Pretty self-explanatory, just super powerful for blob fights. Just an amazing item. Lowers armor and melee defense. He's got speed. He causes terror. He regenerates. He's strong, independent. Basically, it allows you to use your heals elsewhere and can't complain. He's got a Damsel with Lore Beasts here for Flying Taco and a Damsel of Life with Earth Blood, and he does also have the Power Stone. A couple peasants in the back, some spears in the back row, but a pretty big front line here for Bretonnia. Let's see what it is. So Spearmen at Arms, Men at Arms, but the center core is actually going to be somewhat elite by Bretonian standards. It does have a couple foot squares, which will do well against most low-tier greenskin troops, like if they have chaff, like goblins and orc boys, and even against savage orcs, they'll do okay. But against black orcs or higher, they will definitely struggle. But I don't know. I wonder how they would actually trade against savage orcs. because they don't have like the most armor or melee defense. Savage Orcs might actually be able to do some crumping on them. But here in the back for the Cav, he does have questing knights. So yeah, good AP on these guys. Good against infantry. Decent against the big spider. I mean, that's really tough for Bretonnia to deal with, is the Arachnaut Queen. But Lewin's going to have his work cut out for him. But these guys at least have some AP, so they can chew into that big spider. Or if there's like a Black Orc blob, sometimes players will do that against Bretonnia. They'll bring like a couple Black Orcs and just stack spiders on top of it. So having the questing knights does serve some pretty good dual purpose. And on the far side, it's going to be questing knights, and oh, Grail Knight, Grail Guardians down at the end. Grail Guardians, of course, very good in sustained combat, holding back, tides of greenskin infantry, where essentially it is going to be normally pretty hard to do that for the Bretonnians. So yes, for anyone just joining, the first game of the day is going to be Flying Taco facing off against Hadries. And it looks like for Hadries here is going to be leading the forces of the greenskins, Forest Goblin Spider Riders, to probably dive and harass the back line and things like that. Let me make sure they're not waiting. No need to wait for me. All right, cool. So, Spider Riders, looks like he does have a Vanguard up to 8 Peak Loonies, the Unbreakable Goblins. As far as troops go, he does have, it looks to be Orc Biggins, which makes sense. Anti-large. I mean, they can perform okay against Bretonnia Knights. He does have a Goblin Rocklobber in the form of the Hammer of Gork. Orc Biggins pretty much everywhere. Wurzog here, which is great. Foot of Gork and Effigy is a great combo against Bretonnians. If they come in with like Grail Guardians, it's so much value. You can basically foot them and get, 1,000 gold plus instantly of value. He does also have the big old spider and some more Spider Riders in the back. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let's get this show on the road. So here you can see the proud forces of Bretonnia are going to be surging forward. Questing Knights looking to perhaps intercept the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but there's not going to be any of that for the Greenskins. Lewin can get some freebies here, honestly. Wouldn't perhaps be a bad idea to dive on these. So Lewin's going to be going down after the Vanguarded Goblins, and they're going to be having a bad time, but they actually don't lose any models after Lewin's first attack, which is interesting. So at this point, I wonder if Lewin will stay. Probably. He might as well. So still, these goblins very, very durable. They're 31 melee defense, holding quite firm as Lewin continues to claw at these guys, still not having killed a model yet, which is very interesting. In the meantime, the Hammer of Gork here in the back is going after the companions, and it's actually done pretty good. It's killed 3 models, which is a lot. I mean, this is an expensive unit. Being able to take out a model in this is pretty valuable. Now, on the far side, where there's no spider support, you can see the Cav of Bretonnia are basically going to have a field day against these goblins. They're going to get some free charges coming in here, hammering these goblins, and I assume it's just going to be rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Grail Guardians are going to be very tough to drag down, even for Biggins, who do have anti-large because they're armored, and they do also have physical resist. So it looks like the Greenskins, realizing that they're spread maybe a little bit too wide, are going to be pulling in here. They don't want the Bretonnians to be able to kind of hammer these flanks, and oh, big Cav engagement here on the far side. You can see the Forest Goblin Spider Riders just barely getting away from that. Are they going to commit to it? Oh, the pig's coming, guys. So Wurzog looks to be rotating out here, wanting to get an Effigy of the Git plus a Foot of Gork. Maybe he's going to do it on the companions. That's what I would do 100%. Like right here, this is fresh fish. Net them down, Foot of Gorkum, countercharge them with Forest Goblin Spider Riders to finish them off. I think that's the play here. However, a little bit dangerous for the Pigman. He needs to pop it quick because it looks like, is he going to do it? He pops the wall, the Spider Riders take the charge, and he does get the Effigy, but I'm surprised he didn't do it while they were a little bit more in the open field. So now he's going to be pulling back, and a big old juicy Foot of Gork coming. So, oh, here it comes. This is going to be good. Here comes the Foot from Hadries, stomping the yard. Not doing the most damage in the world because they already took pretty big casualties, but nonetheless, the companions are offline. And not a bad trade. Now, on the far side, it looks like the Greenskins are holding relatively well. The Biggins across the line are doing okay against the infantry and against some of the knights, actually. The Hammer of Gork still in line, plenty of reserve troops, and that was a very, very nice engagement there. Wurzog was able to get some good value, but really it's going to come down to the Spider. The Arachnaut Queen is always a huge issue for Bretonnia, but the Manticore Summon of Bretonnia has come down, and the Manticore Summon is going to be used to chase down Wurzog here, which is a very good choice. That's one of the reasons why you bring Manticores against, low leadership factions who have squishy lords. Nice Brain Buster going down right there, which is going to be triggering the Bonewood Staff. You can now see that the entire Greenskin army is getting a melee attack buff. So Lewin is basically like Jaws right now. He's like the Predator. He's just lurking above Wurzog, waiting for an opportunity to dive, perhaps. But it looks like he might just leave the Manticore to chase Wurzog, and he might actually go over here and try and shut down the Hammer of Gork and some of these other tools. So far, it looks like Bretonnia is in a good position, right? They've collapsed this entire flank. This artillery position is going to be going. Hammer of Gork's going to be gone. These Biggins are going to get run down just by the sheer numbers of Grail Guardians and infantry and Lewin here. But the Greenskins have done pretty well on this side of the battlefield. You can see 70 Orc Biggins here, 75 Orc Biggins here. I mean, they have a lot of stuff, and the Manticore Summons have both been used. So a lot of ones of magic invested. Is it going to pay off against the pig? It looks like this one should be disappearing in a couple seconds. There it goes. So yeah, Hadries really needs to micro this pig, because if he gets caught by these Manticores, like a couple attacks could actually push off Wurzog, and then he could get chased off by like a Damsel or any number of the Bretonnian Knights. So if we look here, Bretonnia has a very clear, decisive victory here. Nice Brain Buster coming down there from Wurzog, doing so much damage, but Bretonnia is definitely ahead on the Bounce of Power. The Cav overwhelming this position, and this side of the battlefield was very, very good, and it seems like the pigs have most of their bacon laid here into the Arachnaut Queen, which she's really going to have to carry the game. And that's sometimes why you see Black Orcs instead of like Orc Biggins, because they have better general AP values against the Knights. They're immune to psychology, and they tend to hold positions a little bit longer than Biggins and things like that. So it looks like Wurzog's okay, though. He is able to kind of flush out this position of the Bretonnians, and the Spider is enduring the beating of the Manticore, which is good. Manticores won't do much against the armor of the big Spider Beast. I mean, it'll still do something, but not the most in the world. So dangerous situation here. King Lewin coming in, and it looks like the Baconator is going to be running. So Wurzog is fleeing right now. So if he has an effigy of the Git, now's the time to use it, because he's going to be taking so much beating. It looks like Fist of Gork going down as well on himself. So it looks like he's trying to fight back with Wurzog, but I don't know how well that's going to go for him. Lewin, of course, tanking this like an absolute champ. The Sword of Corone is down, and there's the effigy. So effigy has been used on Lewin, and now Wurzog's going to be trying to get away, but very good play by Flying Taco. He pulled in the Grail Guardians and actually pinned in Wurzog, so he's having a really, really hard time getting away here, but it looks like he just is able to slip away there. Brain Buster going down again, hitting, looks like a little bit of friendly fire there on the AP Gloonies, but still doing some okay damage. Now, as far as the Bounce of Power goes, it's relatively even, slightly Bretonnian favored, but again, I'm telling you, there's so many games where I thought of like, oh, I've crushed these greenskins, it's over. What are they going to do? But then the big spider just comes back and karate chops everything. Like, you don't have the answers for it in the late game, right? So Lewin needs to make sure he's healthy for the late game so he can come back in and finish off that spider. Because aside from that, the Bretonnians are in pretty good shape, right? They have Questing Knights here. They've cleaned up most of the Greenskin infantry, which is going to allow the monsters to be isolated. But it looks like he's going for the snipe on Wurzog, which, if he's not able to get the snipe and the spider's able to chip down Lewin a little bit more, like get him down to like 30 or 40%, that could actually be pretty disastrous. But it looks like Wurzog's hanging on. He's steady, and yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't broken yet. What an absolute champion of his people. Here you can see the Manticore caster has been broken off, fighting amongst Biggins, and this is actually giving the Bacon boys, the Biggins here, a chance to get back in the game, because they're grinding down this caster, getting a fairly expensive unit off the battlefield. Not that it matters too much, because of the summons are both used on that Manticore. So right here you can see the Arachnaut Queen is going to be going after Lewin. Spider Summon going down to try and pin him down, but Lewin is able to get away. So now it's very much a game of cat and mouse. And now you can see, as this game does transition into the late game here, you can see that the Greenskins have pulled ahead on the Bounce of Power. The Arachnaut Queen is doing pretty well here, and she's able to push back Lewin. I mean, the Bretonnians are kind of crumbling on the ground. The Greenskin infantry actually really pushing out in the late game here. Another wall going down. Oh, that is pretty brutal. And I honestly just don't know what could deal with this Arachnaut Queen at this point. That, like I said, is one of the bigger issues. Dealing with those big spiders is pretty nasty for Bretonnia. So Lewin going in for the kill right here, and the Arachnaut Spider, I don't know what I was going to say there, is trying to rotate out here to push off Lewin, which is very good. And Wurzog is just, he's got those dancing moves. He's been practicing for sure, and he's just pulling back into his Biggins, who then with the Wob are certainly going to be able to do some okay damage against Questing Knights, who only have 80 armor. It's not like they're like a heavily armored Chaos Knight or something, but yeah, the Biggins certainly have done pretty well. I mean, good dual purpose, right? They can beat down the Bretonnian infantry, and they can also do very well against the Knights. So Damsel here getting sniped, which is pretty big, getting rid of that healer, but it could be a trade, actually. If Lewin's able to get those shots, and it looks like he does pop Wurzog in the face pretty good. Wurzog is very low, probably 2 attacks away from going down himself here. So perhaps if Flying Taco is able to get the good snipe on Wurzog, push him off the battlefield, and then just regenerate a little bit, rally your troops from there, pull back some of these peasants and spears. He's still in this game very much, but still it's Greenskin favorite at this point, I would say, because the Spider's just so damn healthy. It has that perpetual missile fire, which is just doing so much damage. And here comes Lewin, trying to swoop in once again. Is he going to make contact? He's going, he's spam clicking. It looks like Wurzog is able to dodge that shot a little bit, trying to fall back and juke, but man, close situation. And it looks like Wurzog actually does get terror routed, which is really, really good for Bretonnia, because now Lewin can just kind of chase him off, right? He could just follow him. He will come back in a second because terror routes aren't permanent. You can see how he's actually shaken, so it's only going to be for a couple more seconds. But man, masterful stuff right here actually by Hadrius. He gets these spiders, the little spiderlings, and he's chasing off Flying Taco's King Lewin to make sure that he can't loop around and get on Wurzog. And it looks like Wurzog might stabilize. He's fighting some Questing Knights, which isn't a great situation for him, but I mean, he should be able to stabilize. Questing Knights don't have like the most insane DPS in the world. And he's going to be falling back to the Biggins and other troops. Man, I cannot believe that Wurzog is alive at this point in the game. That is very, very impressive. It's definitely very hard to protect him against characters like Lewin and all that sort of stuff. So right here you can see the Damsel's going to be coming back in. Could get another Earthblood perhaps. Maybe did get one on the Foot Squires. Not sure. Questing Knights look to be charging in as well. And yeah, you can see here that Flying Taco is sending in the Grail Guardians actually just to kind of occupy him while Lewin goes in for the Death Thrust. So he's 100%. He has to finish Wurzog here. He has to get that value, he has to let himself heal up, and then he has to hope that Lewin is going to be able to pull out a miracle and actually be able to duel the Arachnaut Queen. So it looks like Wurzog is broken once again, but every time he comes in for Wurzog, the Bacon is clever. He's hiding next to the Spider, so then Lewin takes damage, and it kind of pushes the Bounce of Power back that way. But actually, look at that, man, evened out here. So that snipe of Wurzog, like we were saying, is very, very, clutch here, because if he can get a bunch of trash infantry and swarm the Spider and then cycle charge it with Lewin, that's going to be backbreaking. Man, what a great first game we've had today. Very, very evenly matched between these two fine players here. So King Lewin is going to be hunting down Wurzog, looking to feast. Some Spiderling protection nearby is going to be going to intercept the peasants, and the Damsel of Life has been taken out. This is a really close game. Really, really close. Now, mind you, the Greenskins do have a couple spider summons online. It looks like there's 2 of them, I think. And when those disappear, it will certainly take a lot of, a lot of the wind out of their sails here. But yeah, Wurzog's 100% done for. And Lewin should just chase him until he shatters or breaks. As a matter of fact, you could use the Grail Guardians. That's probably smarter. Use the Grail Guardians to chase him off and then pull Lewin back to be a little bit more engaged in the main conflict. So it looks like that's what he is going to be doing. Grail Guardians have 70 speed. And of course, boars aren't really that fast. So yeah, should be able to catch those guys. So Lewin flying above right now, looking for opportunities to cycle charge the spider, but there's no rush really for Lewin. I think he should just pick off the scraps wherever he can, kill any of the biggins coming back, and then just rally your peasants and your cav units and play that very patient game. I could have swore he had a group of like spears coming that were very healthy. Maybe it was these guys. They didn't last terribly long, I suppose. Got some foot squires over here, 54 spearmen at arms, which will be helpful. Yeah, Lewin's basically just gonna have to cycle charge the spider, so he's gonna do a frontal charge right now and probably pull Lewin to the back. So the spider takes almost no damage from that. Lewin gets in the back there, does 300 damage, which is quite nice. So really, it's going to be on the King of Bretonia to win this game. He's going to have to carry this one into the sunset, because otherwise it's not going to go great for anything else they really have. Oh, this could be a little bit of a mistake here. He didn't fully chase Wurzog off the battlefield, and if Wurzog comes back, that's going to be pretty bad. He might be able to actually cast like a Fist of Gork or something else like that on the spider. Very, very dangerous choice here. But again, he might be okay. He might run fully off the battlefield, but again, Wurzog might rally here. We'll keep an eye on that in just a moment. So back in the main fight, Lewin's a little bit trapped in, but he's done almost 1,000 damage here to the Arachnarok Spider. Definitely doing some good work, but he's probably at his healing cap at this point, and Wurzog is officially gone, so he's okay in that respect. And the Spiderling summon will be disappearing in just a moment. And I'm pretty sure the Arachnarok Queen doesn't really have much more in that respect. Some Foot Squires coming in, getting a rear charge. Should be able to help finish off the AP Loonies and maybe break some of the biggins who are getting terror routed. But is Lewin, the King of Bretonia, going to be able to carry this game? We will find out. We will find out. So Lewin going in here, going in for the snipe. And he gets some good damage, 2,900 HP on this spider here. Lewin's at 1,800 though, so it's dicey for both players. But again, having the buffering the spears, even if it's 1 damage at a time, that's going to be quite nice. So here comes Lewin swooping up in the sky here. Coming back and around for the cycle charge. The only thing defending the spider are the AP Loonies. Nice sort of Corone going down. The spider's actually shaken, guys. It's taking a lot of damage. I mean, if he doesn't have the summon, Bretonia might be able to pull this one out. What an epic showdown. Man, this is crazy. So Lewin has 1,400 HP. He doesn't have like a bonus for large or anything, but I think the buffering of the troops is going to be enough to maybe break the spider. It's at -2 right now. Its armor is lowered. Not that it matters. It's still has like 120. But the brave sons of Bretonia surging in with their pikes and their pitchforks and their rakes. Look at these peasants. And that's going to be a victory for Bretonia. What a comeback. What a comeback. That was amazing. What a great game. So that's going to be it for the first game of this King of the Hill. Flying Taco is going to be claiming first blood in King of the Hill. So let's go ahead and inscribe his name here on the scoreboard. So the current leader, we'll just put the Taco. So the current leader is Taco with 1, and the current king is going to be Flying Taco. I think I did that right. Yes, we just have to update a couple things. Here we go. Boom. Move this one over a little bit that way so it doesn't, so you guys can actually see it. So yeah, you can see the top one is going to be the current king with the score. And then, assuming they get removed, the current leader will be left here on the bottom. So the next person on our list is going to be, let's take a look here. It's going to be Rito. So good luck. Let's get Mr. Rito in there and we'll see what's happening. I know, that was good, right? We could end on that. Hey, my lovely wife is here, Lady Turin, on her lunch break, probably. It's happening. That was a really great game. We're doing it. Yeah, so Lady Turin has to go to she got a regular job now, so I woke up this morning with her and I made her sushi rolls. Handmade sushi rolls made with love. So basically you get seaweed, you get some sticky rice, you cook up the rice, and it's very simple. You kind of cook the salmon and then, make it into like kind of little crumbly rolls. Throw it in there and yeah, it does the trick for sure. So we're just waiting for Rito right now. Maybe he can't see the lobby. It's cool. And we'll be starting here in a minute. Mr. Picot says, hey, Turin, you made me begin Magic. Today I won your first Commander game. Hell yeah, dude. Congrats. Yeah, Commander is my favorite format in Magic. It is so much fun. That spider guy did get stomped into some fine wine. Yeah, that was impressive. All right, so 1 second here. So yeah, of course, like there's always the issue with Steam and people not being able to see lobbies for some godforsaken reason. It's so stupid. I don't know, why does that happen in Total War Warhammer, you know? I have no idea why that happens. All right. On the road again. I just can't wait to be on the road again. All right, so I'm going to add this fine gentleman on Steam, and then from there I should be able to get him going. Yes, you got to cook the salmon firstly. That's the most important part. Okay, he's in. Perfect. We're all good to go. So the next map, we'll do the... No, we're not doing any stupid Dark Elf maps. Oh, God, they're the worst. We'll do the Astalian Tomb. So, Taco... Up to you guys. The plot thickens. We're in, we're good. Players are going to be selecting their armies now, and we'll be beginning here in just a moment. First game of the day, going strong. No, I'm not from the UK. No, I live in California. So it looks like it's going to be Norska versus Empire for this next match. Let's see if they're deciding to do any picks or bans. Cool. Go time. Rito seems to have an angry little unicorn as his icon, facing off against the flying taco, quite literally. Hey, Garland. Get some rest, man. Thanks for joining the stream. We'll see you around, brother. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. All right, 1 second here. We're good. War wagons? You know, I mean, since this is like a casual event, you could probably see war wagons. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing war wagons. Okay, Rito's going to go Wood Elves. Cool, cool. And start when they're ready. Start when ready. I'm actually curious to see how Flying Taco deals with this. I've been curious about this matchup. Like, I've often liked Armored Skinwolves quite a bit because they deal with Wild Riders pretty effectively, considering they have anti-large. Wild Riders are lightly armored. They have armor themselves against the low AP damage of Wild Riders, but yeah, I'm curious more so how he deals with missile play. I mean, I guess just spamming doggos is always pretty good. Also, don't forget the Sushi Sue in the rice. What is that, Thomas Green? I'm not sure. We could get an Orion pick. I have a feeling, though, we're going to see a Wild Durthu pick. That's what my marbles are resting on here. Zalanth, what's up, man? How's it going? Is it me, or do Luminarchs look like satellite-looking turrets on Hoth? They kind of do. Matthew Giannotti, a little bit. The Vampire Coast has been banned. So basically, I'm going to let the winner. They have to pick first, and then they have to do a ban if they want. And then the other gentleman joining can go from there. Horse Masters aren't bad here, for sure. They can do some work, because they have good enough combat stats to kill Wood Elf Archers, plus they're decent in the skirmishing game. Range is a little bit short. Wood Elf Archers can, of course, outrange you, but, you know, if you use it effectively. There's a bunch of ways to play. I have a feeling we're just going to see, like, Marauder Champions and maybe some Armored Skinwolves and, like, a Doggy Blitz. Maybe bring, like, the Soul Crusher if you want to get, like, a big spicy mammoth just because it has that enraged mechanic. I don't know. Soul Crusher is pretty risky, but it seems like the metagame has been shifting away from Way Watchers. Like, people don't bring them that much anymore from, at least in my past couple tournaments I've done, it's been very different. Also, guys, we're going to have a tournament this Sunday. It's going to be a 16-man tournament, so stay tuned for that. Yusei, you just missed one. You just missed one. One really good game at the beginning between Flying Taco and Hadri's. It was outstanding. I would recommend going back and watching it. So the players are picking their armies. Looks like everything's good. So next up on our King of the Hill list, we have Prussian Prince coming in. Then after that, Xiphos, Muckhip, A-Move Hacker, Aerocrastic, Yonald, Undertaker, Samurai Warrior, and to close out the day, we'll have Wicked D. Wicked D coming in hard. Hey, Zarok Gamer, good luck in school, man. So Thomas Green says rice, vinegar, sugar, and salt to give the slight sourness and sweetness. That's a good idea. So a little bit of, vinegar, sugar, and salt. I didn't think about that. Because basically, we just use like this pressure cooker thing, and we just slap the rice in there with a little bit of oil and, obviously the water to pressure cook it with, and that's it. Yeah, we don't do too much seasoning or stuff. All right, guys. It's time. No, DJ Gnu, I haven't. I don't think, to my knowledge, I don't think he like plays in events or... I don't know. I've never seen him on ladder or anything, and I play a lot of ladder too. You can see I played probably over 1,000 games on ladder, if not more. All right, it's showtime. It's gonna be, it's Orion, yes. So it's gonna be the Wood Elves led by Rito facing off against the current King of the Hill, Flying Taco, who is coming in with a big fat mammoth, which is exciting for sure. I mean, you wouldn't think it's going to be safe against Wood Elves, but with good juking and good engagements, you can usually make it work, especially if you're having ample pressure on the back line. So for the front line here of the current King of the Hill, Flying Taco, it's got Marauders across the entire front line, one group of Berserkers just to deal with like Dryads and things like that. A couple Norskin Warhounds with the Beasts of Tashnar and some Frostwolves as well. Frostwolves are very good. The Frostbite mechanic against kiting factions like Wood Elves is just invaluable, so that's definitely very strong. And for his leadership, he does have a Marauder Chieftain on a Mammoth. He has a Balefiend with Shadows, with Pendulum, and it looks to be the Withering or Enfeebling Foe. No. It's going to be Pendulum plus Melkos. Again, the slow, very, very strong. A couple Ice Doggies, or Skin Wolves. Yeah, the premier condom brand of the old world. He has 2 Skin Wolves right there, and 2 on the other side as well. Not often to go for armor, and honestly, they do fine. He does have the Moss of Savagery as well, which do, of course, have better armor piercing values and some armor themselves. So pretty good army, just kind of like I thought, using Skin Wolves to control the Wild Riders, and using your doggos to kind of break the back line and kill the archers. Now for the forces of Rito, the front line is going to be Eternal Guards. It looks like Mel Gibson coming in hard. He does have the Cloak of Aisha. There's also going to be a Branch Wraith and a bunch of Glade Guard with fire arrows, which again, very good against Skin Wolves and should have enough DPS to burn down like Berserkers, and even against the Mammoth, only has 70 armor. In the back, he has a couple War Dancers with Azrai Spears, but really it's going to be defending his back line because the Norskins have a ton of pressure. So some good focus fire initially, just going after Marauders, but you can see he immediately switches all his focus fire onto the Berserkers here, I think. It looks like he's going to be shooting those guys, which he should, for sure. They're very, very squishy against missile play. And I would think Orion getting a melee combat and just hunting down the Mammoth is probably your best play. Orion is a monster of a duelist, and he has a great anti-large bonus. But now the Norskins are going to be getting that full kind of a surround here, doing a bit of a feigning charge here with the Skin Wolves, teasing the charge, trying to pull Rito's Wild Riders out, which he does. So Rito didn't react quick enough. He didn't pull those guys back, and now they're going to get pretty much surrounded by the Skin Wolves, and it opens up a backline penetration. Man, look at Flying Taco, masterful micro. He gets those doggos, he slips through, and now the issue is there's no mobile Wood Elves back here to really stop these guys. So if he wants to get the Norskin Ice Wolves and just kind of sweep through the back line of archers, he probably will be able to. So Pendulum's going to be going down as well to crack the front line, so some of these Eternal Guard are going to be getting crumbs. Oh my god, that Pendulum was brutal! And the Wild Riders over here doing their best to hold, but there's so many dogs and wolves and just things all over the back line. Granted, Mel Gibson might be able to pull this game back. I mean, if he can take out this Marauder Chieftain, that would be huge. But yeah, just werewolves are everywhere. And you can see the Norskins are winning the front line, they're in the back line, and the Wood Elf Archers at this point are pretty much in full retreat. As you can see, yeah, the Marauders just having a field day. So here, Wild Riders with shields are engaging upon the Marauders, but yeah, they're being attacked by Beasts of Tashnar, I think, too, or maybe it's just the Moss of Savagery. Yeah, it's Moss of Savagery. So it's looking pretty Grimbone for the Wood Elves. Some Grim Bones. He does have Mel Gibson for sure, and Mel Gibson is going to be a powerhouse of a character to finish off, but the Wood Elves just don't have much else. Their Eternal Guard are just beaten up across the board. The Wardens of Sithril are holding. They're a pretty powerful unit, and he does have the Branch Wraith there, but yeah, the whole back line of archers is compromised. It's all gone at this point. Norska just with a brutal blitz. Yeah, very surgical play for sure, like pulling forward the Wild Riders over there, and then when that created an opening or a seam, he slips in there with his dogs. Man, that was some masterful stuff for sure. Looks like a misclick on the Pendulum there is going to be going the wrong way, but nonetheless, it's basically Mel Gibson versus the world, and he's pretty powerful, but against Skin Wolves, they're good against him. They have anti-large, they hit very hard against light armor, which he is, so that upper hand Mike Tyson werewolf right there just coming in and doing a bunch of damage, and the Wood Elves basically going to be getting slapped with army losses quite soon, actually, I think. Especially if the Mammoth, yeah, the Mammoth is basically going to be able to deal with Azrai Spears because our Marauder's buffering it, so the Spears won't be able to surround the Mammoth. And there are some Archers and Wild Riders in the back, but everything pretty much being chased off here. And yeah, that's going to be army losses in a couple seconds, probably in like 10 or 15 seconds. And Mel Gibson, of course, won't break, but yeah, that was a brutal one. That was a brutal one. I mean, good pendulums, good backline penetration, just nastiness across the board. Very, very well played. And here comes the big, thick Mammoth coming to finish off Mel Gibson. Freedom will not be his today. Well, perhaps it is in death, but that's going to be the only way he attains his freedom. As Orion with the Cloak of Aisha holding on. But yeah, you can see the Branch Wraith is going to be breaking due to army losses, and now it's basically just Orion tanking like a champion. Yeah, so very, very good surgical, I think is the accurate way to describe that Norskin play. Well played to both players there, but I just think the Blitz was too much. Yeah. There wasn't enough to protect, yeah, for sure. I think a Dryad front line's pretty good too, because Dryads can actually beat Marauders. More so than Eternal Guard. Like, you basically come in with a bunch of Dryads in the front. I think the bow line's fine. So you get Dryads, find a way to get more Wild Riders. You need that to kind of hold things back, especially the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. They have anti-large. They're very good against Skin Wolves. But yeah, that was an intense game. That was an intense one. So currently Taco's going to go up. Boom, boom. And he's our current leader with a 2. And next we have the Prussian Prince, I believe. Let's go ahead and check it out. GG, well played. We'll go on Eschen for our next map. All right, let's tell Prussian Prince he's up. That was an intense one. That was a very, very intense one. Cool. That wasn't Falcon playing Optimus Pine. That was Flying Taco. Well, wife and stuff is home, so we're going to eat out. Hey, take care, Zypher. No worries, man. Enjoy the company of your wife. And we also had a donation I missed earlier from Anthony Riley. My apologies. It must have been during the heat of the game. He says, finally, I caught a stream. Well, apparently it's not a trap, according to your Admiral Akbar. And yeah, welcome, man. Welcome, welcome. We're doing it. We're doing it hard. So we'll see if Prussian Prince is able to see the game here. I believe he's on my friends list. I don't know. The Steam friends list is so stupid. A lot of like technology on Steam is very archaic, you know. Functional in some ways, but old. And so Prussian Prince has been invited. Italian Spartacus with the re-donation. I love it. Thank you, Ryan. I was just on Ryan's stream and he was telling me how excited he is for Friar Chuck to do that with his hair whenever the next Ever Chosen is. So you guys are in for a treat. Friar Chuck and the mullet. Yeah, I've been to Europe many times. My wife is Polish, so I've been to Poland many times. I've landed in Germany. I've been to the UK several times, mainly Horsham, England. Oh my god, those Wood Elves have been broken in half. Yeah, it was a really good build for sure. Prussian Prince is here, so Taco pick and ban. The Prince! And here we go. It's showtime. Johnny Dingles! Thank you for the $2. I don't know what that means. Tigers! See? Look how excited Ryan is about his Friar Tuck haircut. Dude, you would look so good, man. You could wear like one of those like robes. Yes. Yeah, no. Oh, you guys haven't seen the facial swap of Sparty and I? What commander deck do I play? Right now I'm playing, I have a mono green one with Azusa, and it's an Eldrazi ramp deck. And then I have another one, that's my like 1v1 deck for commander. And then my other one is mono black. And I switch between Chainer for Reanimator. Sometimes I'll run Geth, Lord of the Vaults. I want to run Yawgmoth. I feel like he'd be really fun as well. You guys haven't seen the face swap? So it looks like it's going to be Lizardmen Dark Elves. Here, I have the face swap somewhere. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. Is it still in the desktop? Ah, man, I might have to find it. I might have accidentally put it in my recycling bin here. Well, yeah, the face swap's really good. It's on my Twitter account. It does. Alrighty. And here we go. Flying Taco against Prussian Prince. Currently Taco on quite a tear. Up 2-0 here in this King of the Hill. Some people got some ground to chase. And of course he's playing a lot of factions that you don't see too much in competitive play. We got to see some sweet Bretonnia, which was quite a bit of fun, and he did very well in that game. Man, that was a really close game between him and Hadri's. That was probably one of the better ones we've had. Flying Dutchman Mullet versus Friar Tuck, aka Marauder versus Battle Pilgrim. Ryan will be the Battle Pilgrim. Oh my god. Maybe we could Spartacus could dress up as a Dread Saurian. Ryan, if you're still here, would you like to dress up as a Dread Saurian? I think that could be fun. We'll see. We'll see if King of the Hill, or if King of the Taco, King of the Hill, can maintain his position. So in this match, guys, it's going to be Flying Taco playing the Lizardman, facing off against Prussian Prince, who's going to be playing the Dark Elves, and his build's pretty standard for sure. That's like a cookie-cutter competitive build. Yeah, looking like it. So for the front line here, Flying Taco, it's going to be a couple Saurus, a couple Skinks just to kind of buffer. He does also have some Cohorts, which are a great counter-skirmishing unit. They have shields, so they're able to kind of get up in the face of the repeater crossbows, throw their javelins back with 80 range, and usually keep them at bay. So very, very good choice there. In the back, he's got some Cav himself, Coldwind Riders with some clever girls, I think. No, just Coldwind Riders. He does have the Sacred Croc scores, which I love. A pretty good generalist unit. Decent against Cav, decent against infantry. I actually am a big fan of having like a single Sacred Croc score, but it looks like he actually has 2 of those bad boys. For his lore choice, he does have Nakai the Wanderer. What? You never see Nakai ever. And Nakai does have the Primal Roar, so this is the one that gives physical resist and melee attack to nearby allies, which can be very, very strong. He does also have the Manticore Summon and Flock of Doom. And in the back, Razordawn Hunting Packs. What planet are we on? Very, very strange build for sure. Using Nakai, using Sacred Croc scores, using Razordawn Hunting Packs, using all these different DLC units. So I'm quite eager to see if Taco can make those work. And for the forces of Prussian Prince, he does have a front line of Dread Spears mixed in with some Black Guard, who of course are great against dinos, good against large dinos, good against their infantry, just a really, really solid choice. In the back, he's got a couple Coldwind Knights, 3 repeater crossbows to focus down enemy cav, enemy big targets like Croc Scores. Probably the best unit, in my opinion, on the Dark Elf roster. One of the best units, probably in the top 3 with like Sisters of Slaughter and things like that. And yeah, they're just really good. He does also have Malekith up in the sky on the Dragon with Soul Stealer and Breath Attacks, and that's pretty much it. Should be good. So they're about ready to start here. Don't see any. So yeah, usually against Dark Elves, they have really good AP missile pressure. It's a little bit risky to bring like a big single entity expensive dinosaur because they can focus you down very easily. Yeah. You can see a nice little setup going on here. These repeater crossbows looking to pressure. But like I said, if Flying Taco uses his cohorts effectively, they're so good at screening out the Dark Riders. Granted, the fighting does have to start eventually. And when the Sacred Croc scores do dive into the Dark Elf infantry, you can then just sit back and shoot with the repeater crossbows. So should be fine there. So guys, what are your predictions? We have 615 people here in chat. We're going pretty hard on this afternoon King of the Hill. Let me know what you guys think. So here, the Dark Riders coming in to get some initial pot shots against the Coldwind Riders, but the Javelins are going to come and screen. These bad boys do have 115 range, and here come the Javelins. So I mean, if the Javelins are able to get a full volley, it can do huge damage. So Prussian Prince here taking a volley slightly to the face. He's going to lose about 5 models. And yeah, look at those little skinks. Those guys are just, doing such good work. Now, the front line of the Lizards are going to be engaging. I'm really actually quite eager to see how he's going to use the Razordons. And what looks to be happening over here on the far side is the Coldwind Riders are probably just going to rear charge these Dread Spears when the Skinks are fighting them, and that should actually be able to break those guys. But really, this is going to be the epicenter of the battle here. You can see Malekith coming in and pressuring, looking to get some freebies here. He does have the Soul Stealer, so blob fights in this situation may actually favor the Dark Elves simply because of Soul Stealer, but I mean, Nakai does have that Primal Roar plus the Manticore Summon. So Javelin's going in here. Sacred Croc Score's going to be trying to take Malekith to Pound Town. So it looks like Malekith is going to be attacking away from the formation. Some Coldwind Knights going to be charging in. And Razordawn Hunting Packs are shooting in against Malekith as well as these Coldwind Riders. So here, Primal Roar should be going down here. But oh man, that Repeater Fire is nasty. So the Repeater Crossbow Fire should be able to just mincemeat these Coldwind Riders plus that Soul Stealer. This is going to be a pretty back and forth engagement for sure. Nakai's coming in with his big old paddle. We're going to see if he's able to kind of counterpunch here with that Primal Roar. So here he comes. Nakai's attacking with the Sacred Croc Scores. He just punches Malekith on the face, which is always fun. And Malekith actually takes some pretty big damage there. Manticore Summon coming down as well from the Lizards, which means if he wants to, he can use the Manticore to either chase off the Repeater Crossbows or to maybe rear charge. But so far, both sides have taken pretty big casualties. The Soul Stealer has done a ton of damage, but again, the raw brute force of the Lizards has also punched back pretty well. So Razordon hunting packs are slightly obstructed here. I'd probably try and pull them back. This engagement angle is a little bit awkward, but oh no! Malekith is getting taken to Pound Town by these Sacred Kroxigors and Nakai, and it looks like he might not be able to escape. He's trying to push back. The Black Guard are being summoned in to protect the Witch King here, but the Witch King takes a brutal beating, which immediately puts the Lizards ahead on the Bounce of Power. Now, on the other side of the battlefield, the Cav advantage does go to the Lizards, but I don't know how well suited the Cold Ones are over here. It looks like they're in sustained combat against Dread Spears, which is very, very unfortunate for sure. And you still have to deal with these Black Guard. Oh, but that Manticore summon, is the Manticore going to be able to chase Malekith off the battlefield? If so, that could probably be game for the Lizards. But if Malekith comes back and he's able to get 2 more Soul Stealers, he should potentially be okay. So, battle's still underway here. The Lizards are fighting in the forest here. You can see Nakai and the Sacred Kroxigors are going after the Black Guard. And they have the support of Skinks, which is good, which means the Black Guard aren't going to be able to just square up and fight the Sacred Kroxigors on their terms. And Nakai should be dropping that Primal Roar. I'm pretty sure he did it earlier when they were attacking there, but it's still a pretty close game. I mean, it's really, the Bounce of Power is only the way it is because Malekith is so beat up. Like, that's the only variable. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty good, though, because Malekith then isn't going to be engaging in these fights, not going to be useful, whereas Nakai is just going to be running around with his spanking paddle and just giving the business to, these elite troops. So here he comes. Nakai's jumping in once again. Sacred Kroxigor is enduring quite well because of the Skinks, but the Repeater Crossbows are shooting in. Prussian Prince has been doing a very good job with his Repeaters here, but it looks like a Manticore summon is going to be coming down here. Yeah, Soul Stealer looks to be going for Malekith as well. He needs it. So as far as his HP, he's got 1100 right here. Soul Stealer, ooh, he takes the overcast damage, it looks like, which is rough. But it is going to be hitting Nakai. And in the meantime, Coldwind Riders chasing off Repeater Crossbows. That's pretty clutch for sure. And the little Skinks are following suit. And it looks like the Manticore summon is going to be sent after Malekith, who takes a pretty bold dive here, going after Coldwind Riders, who could just turn on him here. Nakai's coming, Manticore's coming as well. He's definitely going to take a Manticore charge in the face here. 1700 HP on this bad boy. 1600, and is he going to take the shot from the Manticore? He does. He goes down to 1400. Nakai's coming as well. A bit of a ballsy play for sure. Repeater Crossbows need to be stabilized. Those things are super important here. Razordon hunting packs are coming in. There are a couple Coldwind Knights chasing them, but they should be peeled by these Coldwind Riders most likely. And it looks like Malekith is able to escape with 1400 HP, so he didn't take too much damage, which is good. Now, the bounce power is starting to normalize a little bit, as the Dark Elves are cleaning up quite a bit, and the Black Guard are really starting to generate value over the course of this long fight. So, keep the Razordons alive, devolve into the kite game a little bit, get the Coldwind Knights kind of picking off the mobility for the Dark Elves, and then from there, try and use the Razordons to pick off Malekith here. But it looks like Malekith has 1000 HP. He's in the danger zone for sure. Nakai's going to be tough to bring down, but there still are a ton of spears, and are these Black Guard over here? It looks like they are. 52 of those, so those will be very good against Nakai. He's going to be jumping in. Nice brace by Prussian Prince, man. He saw that Nakai charge coming, and he braced immediately. That's like a really micro-level play, which can make a pretty big difference in terms of damage output of the charging unit. So now the Repeater Crossbows are back online. I think if Prussian Prince can endure this Manticore and kind of keep it from finishing off Malekith, he might be able to come back in this game, because his Repeater Crossbows actually have a ton of ammo. It's going to be a close one. So in the distance here, you can see a Flock of Doom going down on the Coldwind Knights. Razordon hunting packs. Probably going to be dropping a Last Samurai volley right here into the face of these Coldwind Knights. We'll see if they get it off. Looks like they might not get it off, but they do countercharge themselves. And they're pretty okay in melee combat. I mean, they have, 46 weapon strength with good AP values. Coldwind Knights, though, are doing some damage. This is pretty unfortunate for sure for Flying Taco. Losing that Razordon hunting pack is going to be substantial. And the Repeater Crossbow fire is becoming very punishing. It's basically picking apart all the different cav units for the Lizards. And what do the Lizards have left? Some Skinks around the battlefield, a couple groups of Saurs who, of course, are going to be doing okay against Dread Spears and whatnot. Malekith could, come over here and pick off the Skink Priest, too, if he wanted to. Yeah, the overcast damage for sure. Was that actually... Can you overcast that? No, I don't know if you can even overcast Soul Stealer. I thought he was casting something else, but I'll have to double-check that after the game. Anyways. Nakai the Wanderer cleaning up these spears here, doing a juicy old job. But I don't know, Malekith with the Repeater Crossbow is going to be really hard to stop, and even though he does have Skinks around the battlefield, if Malekith wants to, he can feast on those. Nakai's pretty slow. I mean, he's fast, he has 50 speed, but Malekith is going to be able to easily just, push these guys off if he wants to. Repeater Crossbows rampaging those guys, which is really unfortunate. So those Coldwind Riders are basically, at the will here. Oh, but nice Cold Blood there from Flying Taco. He's able to salvage those Coldwind Riders, which he really needs. This game is very, very close. So if he can weather the storm and run those Repeater Crossbows out of ammo without taking too much damage, he certainly could do some work. I mean, Nakai is a meaty boy. He's got 3,000 HP. He's got 3,000 HP. So here he comes. Nakai the Wanderer jumping in right here, going after the Black Guard. 30 leadership on those bad boys, but with the Skink buffering, Nakai should be able to bull rush those guys. You can see he's going through with his spanking paddle, doing some solid damage. Down to 27 models, they're shaken. Nakai, of course, causes fear, which is nice. Breath attack coming down. Ooh, that was a decent breath attack, doing about 400 damage from Malekith. Repeater Crossbows are shooting it against the cav units. Oh man, but the Dark Elves have such a big position here. Yeah, all these Black Guard and stuff. That's going to be so much for the Lizards to break. Granted, they still have a caster, they have some Saurs, they have some Skinks coming back in. And if Malekith, you know, takes 1 or 2 shots from Nakai, he's going to be in the danger zone. But I wonder if Malekith has enough for another Soul Stealer. If he does, I actually think the Dark Elves just win. Especially right now. Like, look at this blob. That would just be so good. And if Malekith had like a breath attack right now, but he actually just used it. So of course it's on cooldown or he's out of charges depending on the circumstances. But it looks like both players are committing to a blob fight here. And it's going to be pretty good for the Dark Elves because of that Blackguard unit. They're just going to be such a good anchor. Primal Roar is active, so melee attack given to the whole force. Physical resist as well. They're all rampaging, which is fine. But, you know, the physical resist is definitely worth it. But it looks like the Dark Elves might actually be clawing their way back here as Malekith's going to be coming in for the death blow. And he's able to just rout all those guys. Oh, man. So basically it's just Nakai at this point versus the world. And there's so many spears there and elite troops. And if we look around the battlefield, there's not much left. Yeah, I mean, all the lizards are pretty much full Exodus, and Prussian Prince looks to be taking this game. Yeah, man, what a showdown. So, even if Taco does drop this, he's still currently our leader with 2, so somebody will have to catch him to beat him, but 2's pretty good for sure. Breath attack coming in. Oh, that's a dangerous move for sure, right into your own troops, but it does hit Nakai in the back there. He's taken a lot of firepower. And he causes fear, like I said. I don't believe he brought the Dread Aversion, and Prussian Prince is going to be taking the King of the Hill throne. Yeah, I really thought the Lizards had that game too. They seem to, with their early catches, you know, get some really good play there. But, man, the persistence of the Dark Elf missile play, the Blackguard coming in the 4th quarter, Malekith not being fully finished off, those things all led to the doom of the Taco. So well played, Flying Taco. He was able to win too. He's still our current king. So now we have the Prussian Prince, who's going to be here. And also, if you guys haven't, make sure to check out Prussian Prince on YouTube. There will be a link to his business afterwards as well. He's a fine YouTuber and a very good player. Covers a multitude of games, including Total War. So, Prussian Prince is now going to be on the hill. And next up we have... Let's see who's here. So next we have Xiphos. Xiphos, you're up. I saw you in chat. Let's get you in here. So the next map is going to be... Iron Sand Desert. GG. Xiphos, you're up, man. There was many meme elements in Taco's list. But he made it work. And honestly, like, I've had success with, like, complete meme units against good players. It can still catch people off guard. Thick Boy Nakai did good that game. He was really fun to watch, actually. Xiphos, you're up. The password is in the Discord if you don't have it. I sent you an invite. Blackguard aren't bad. Alrighty, 1 second, guys. Xiphos joining up here. And then we'll be good to go. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything from you guys. We got a donation coming in from Mr. Ricardo on PayPal for $5. Ricardo, thank you so much, man. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Mom, can we get Dark Riders with crossbows at home? Yeah, they're pretty good. They are very, very good. So next we have Xiphos, the champion of the Eternal Challenger League Season 2, facing off against Prussian Prince. First time they meet. Oh, man. It's going to be a rumble in the jungle. So Prince, pick, and ban. And I'm going to get some water while these two fine gentlemen iron things out. Thinking, yeah, I'm going to start a dwarf campaign. Frankie Frank is. I would do a Grombrundle. Grombrundle's really fun. He has like some really cool like new age mechanics. Like the ancestor mechanic thing is really, yeah, do Grombrundle. He's really fun. He's a bit newer and has some fun mechanics. And I mean, all the dwarf campaigns are very easy. Well, not all of them. I mean, I guess, except Belagar. Belagar is really hard, actually. But yeah, I would recommend Gromby between the two that you suggested. So Prussian Prince is picking Bretonia, and sure. Yeah, so far so good. Next up on our list we have, how far are we into the stream? Let me go ahead and check here. I have some people adding me to their friends list so I can effectively get them. I gotta deal with my friends list too. There's just, oh man, I need to find a way to get more people on my friends list too. And then Xiphos is gonna be Warriors of Chaos and Tomb Kings. Okay, cool. Yeah, Shangar, I believe so. It's been a long time. Yeah, I don't think he's played in a long time. And many moons. It's not for everyone, you know. The game. Some people. I have an addictive personality, so I could literally play like assuming like the same level of interest and community existed in Total War Warhammer 2, I could play it for years. I can just never get bored of it. Yes. All right. So next up in our King of the Hill list, we have Muckhip, and then A-Move Hacker, Aerocrastic, Yonald, Undertaker, Samurai Warrior, and Wicked D. So we'll make sure to get all those fine gentlemen in today. We're only an hour in. We'll probably go about 2.5 hours. And we'll see what happens. Damn it, Bobby. You know, no. Spiffy Gonzalez, dude, you need to know the myth of Xiphos, the legend. So every time in all the ECLs and big tournaments I've had Xiphos in on my channel, every time he picks Wood Elves and he's like, play Bretonnia. Come at me, dude. And he always wins. Xiphos has crushed his Bretonian competition just like nonstop. He is like a master in this matchup. I would be really surprised if Prussian Prince takes this game off him. Unless Xiphos like memes and picks something that isn't his like typical competitive build, but he is very good at dealing with Bretonia's Wood Elves. Pulling an all-nighter for a test with this in the background equals bliss. Carl, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that. We'll go for another hour and a half, probably. We were about 1 hour in. We're at the very least going to get through our list of players that signed up. And, you know, do it to it. Do it to it. Do it. It's going to be fun. Going to be fun. Prussian Prince, I mean, yeah, Xiphos is the way he plays this matchup. Everyone's like, some of the best players in the entire game had picked Bretonia against him, and like he just deals with it. Yeah, Spiffy. Prussian Prince is a very good player. His micro's insane, for sure. He's just gotten back into Warhammer in the past couple of months, though. So we'll see. He uses cheat codes? Yeah. You guys are... Xiphos is probably one of the best Wood Elf players out there. Hands down. And this is the first time they've run into each other, too. And, yeah. Just checking everything out here. Looks good to me. Connection looks solid. No internet trolling today. Also, guys, there'll be updates for the ECL finals in the next couple days. I'm going to coordinate with the lads after the stream, and we'll try and iron out a day. Xiphos, you fool, you fall into one of my classic traps or blunders. We'll see. No, Milk and Cookies didn't ask to play today. I mean, he's more than welcome to if you'd like to, but I have a Discord just for tournament play, like people who are interested in events and things like that. It's like separate from the community Discord. So if anybody wants to, just let me know. I'll throw an invite right now. Again, you just got to follow the rules and do it to it. So let me get an invite. All right, guys, I'm going to drop an invite. So for anyone who's interested in tournament plays or my ECLs or events like that, this is where I always like recruit from. Damn it, Bobby. All right. Again, just follow the rules. Be nice. There's plenty of tournaments that'll be going on there. All that sort of good stuff. And also, I have something from my son, Herbert Walker, as well. He asked that I link these as well. So here are the sons for... One second, guys. I'm just ironing this out real quick. So my son, Herbert Walker, also quite an active tournament man himself. Been hosting forever. An absolute great lad. So he has, if you want to play in Herbert Walker's tournaments, which is another good way to get experience, he does that, and plus Noob Hammer as well. So those links should work. So Noob Hammer's for like newer players, and Herbert Walker has pretty advanced tournaments and newer tournaments, fresh recruit tournaments, all kinds of stuff. He's very, very, very good at doing what he does. All right. So there you guys go. There's links if you guys want to get involved. Don't say I never gave you nothing. What's up, Dov? How's it going, man? The great Dov plays. The man, the myth, the legend, the hero of the empire has joined chat. Prussian Prince being very meticulous here with his build. Zypho says, bad map for the trees. I really paid attention, huh? But I'll try. Unlimited Discord links. Oh no, I know. Whenever I talk about my son Herbert Walker, people, it always like, you know, it's pretty ridiculous. Cool, so we got some new faces in there. And again, guys, it's a good place to you know, find some folks to play with and everything. And most people who are in the Turin Weekly Tournament Discord are looking for games and things like that. So yeah, enjoy, guys. Glad to have some new faces in here. Remember, just follow the rules, be nice to everyone, and what is the minimum time to play on an average competitive level? It really depends on your experience, man. Like, if you're one of those people with an RTS background, you played StarCraft 2, you played, you know, Warcraft 3, you played freaking the Dawn of War series, you played, like, Age of Empires. Like, if you grew up on that stuff, like, you'll learn pretty quick. For sure. But, yeah. Honestly, I don't know. David, if you really go hard, like, a couple weeks, and you'll be able to compete with, you know. It's really just learning, because the thing is there's so many matchups. That's probably the biggest learning curve, is, like, learning all the different matchups and races, and because there's like, what, 16 or something? Yeah. So the players are loading in here. Zyphos against Prussian Prince. Currently, Prince is king of the hill. To tie Taco, he needs to win this game, but if he loses, then Zyphos will take over as king of the hill, and perhaps his reign of terror will begin. And Wicked, I don't know if you saw it. You're a Discord in that tournament Discord. I don't know if I had it set that way. People are joining chat. They're like, yes, it is time. All right, guys, so the battle's underway. Here we go. It is showtime. The noble forces of Bretonia taking on the foul wood elves. Just because I don't like wood elves. A Turinament. I've thought about it, Optimus Pine. I've thought about it. So, for the forces of the Wood Elves, we have 3 Way Watchers. And these Way Watchers, of course, you know, I thought they were falling out of style a little bit, but the Way Watchers can do a ton of damage against the cav units, of course. And like, if you screw up once with your Lord or a high value unit, it's game blesses. You're going to have a really bad time. On top of that, we do also have a Spellsinger of Life, and it looks like a Glade Lord. So this is like classic Wood Elves, right? Like just using Cravenoth Rainbow to snipe out the goodies, and defending with Wild Riders plus a bunch of Spears. So for his main core, it's going to be Eternal Guard, Azrai Spears, 3 groups of Wild Riders, it looks like, in total, just to kind of, and they're not good, quote-unquote good against Bretonian, like Knights of the Realm and things like that, but if you get the counter charge and you get the jump with, like, Cravenoth Rainbow, or you soften up the Bretonian Knights first with Way Watchers, they can win those fights, and that's what Zyphos is exceptional at, and I hope all my hype is true here, and you guys get to see it in action. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Wicked, so you can invite anybody to that, or you can link anybody to Noob Hammer, or, like, any Discord, like, you have, like, full... whatever you want. I mean, and obviously don't feel pressured like you have to like do admin stuff or anything. You have the power, man. You have the power. So for the Bretonians here in the back, it's going to be peasant mobs, men at arms. It looks like he's forming like a Mighty Ducks formation or something. Maybe he's expecting a vanguard. I'm not sure what he's. Oh, he's doing his clan. Oh, taking a page out of Falcon's book. So he's in a clan called RTK, which I don't know what it stands for, or else I'd love to explain it. But he's doing the classic RTK formation. So basically, chaff infantry here. In the middle, peasant mobs and cav units. Knights of the Realm across the board with a couple Grail Knights as well, just to win the anti-large fight against those guys. So he's going with the classic RTK formation, looking to send a message. Yes. All right, one sec, guys. Yes, it's happening. Hey, Wicked, it's a pleasure having you, man. It's a pleasure having you. And it looks like the The first cockfight, the RTK formation. His lord is going to be King Lewin, which is really good because Lion Shield can pretty much prevent half the damage coming in from the missiles for a very clutch moment. So Lewin is always very, very good against mass missile play. Alrighty. The RTK formation, I wonder if he's going to stay in it or if he's just doing that to send an initial message here. Repping his clan. Yeah, there's some pieces missing. He didn't have enough for the full spelling, but you can see he's like spending more time like developing that. Xiphos is just like ready to go. He's like lined up on the line here. The RTK. Although honestly, the Wood Elves probably won't pressure the Bretonnians, so Bretonnia will have plenty of time to reorganize its ranks if it wants to. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. The thickness of the lady will not be denied. Well, it's a pretty thick cav play. And this is like kind of the school of thought against the Wood Elves, right? You just swarm them with heavy cav. And like it's really hard because they can't defend too well against heavy cav with Wild Riders, usually. But with good micro, it can be done. Are they waiting for me? Oh, I think he's actually setting up his formation now. I think he's switching. It's hard to say. Oh no, maybe he's just fine-tuning his lettering here. Okay, Prussian Prince is now actually setting up, I think. Nope, he's going with the RTK formation. Trying to send a message of intimidation to Xiphos. We'll see. And here he comes. Xiphos doesn't care, though. He's going to go for blood. He's like, you're going to sit there with those guys? You're going to pay the iron price, dude. Because if you truly want to rep the clan, you gotta claim the victory. Or put up a really good fight. So Weight Watchers unleash a volley, but Prussian Prince is able to dodge it, so perhaps the Haggard formation is a bit of a bait, trying to lull Xiphos into a false sense of comfort here. The Weight Watchers probably want to start falling back as the Bretonnians here are now in a massive charge. And here comes the Weight Watcher fire. Oh god, right into the face of those Grail Knights, an expensive unit. They do have shields and physical resist, so they're not super squishy here. And they didn't lose any models, actually, so that's pretty good. Next volley going in. Oh, those Knights of the Realm just getting last samurai as they charge in. Xiphos falling back very effectively, and this is what he's going to do. And typically with Bretonnia, you have to advance with your infantry and keep your cav like a little bit further back until you like pin the Wood Elves into a corner, and then you come in with your cav basically. So yeah, at this point, Prussian Prince needs to fall back, realizing like he's going to be taking massive casualties if he keeps doing that. Push forward with his peasants and his like trash infantry and just do it that way. But the thing is what Xiphos does is he forces back your cav with his Way Watchers, and then when you stop protecting your front line, the peasant mobs and all the other troops are going to get rode down by Wild Riders, which is great. So here we go, guys. Here comes the Wild Riders looking for that freebie right there. Going to get a charge into the peasant mobs, accruing 50 gold of value from charging those guys, but it's free real estate, you know? And then the Knights come in, they get shot down by the Way Watchers, but he needs to pull back for sure. Xiphos might be willing, actually, since he's probably in a position here where he might get caught. Like, I could foresee him throwing like one group of Wild Riders in to like let them muck up the Bretonnian cav. But Wood Elf cav are so much faster. 85 speed right here, certainly good stuff. And yeah, there's no disrespect. These guys are all friends. They're just having some fun. It's King of the Hill. They're still playing competitive builds and trying to win, but of course it's a much more casual format where people just play for fun. Oh, and Lewin getting a fat blast to the face, but at what price? Are these Way Watchers going to get caught? You can see here the Grail Knights and other troops are coming in. But the Wild Riders are now going to countercharge. And the issue is, yes, the Bretonnian cav will win those fights, but there's a ton of Bretonnian spears in Azrai here. It's going to be really tough for them with the saturation of those spears to do well. Earthblood going down as well, and the Way Watchers have taken a bit of a beating. Looks like they're going to get back. The Bretonnian infantry need to hustle. They need to get up and around the flanks, start pressuring these archers, but honestly, that wasn't bad from Prussian Prince. He got a couple cav units right through the middle, too. Like, he was able to kind of weave the defenses of the Wood Elves. And, oh man, are the Bretonnians going to get this? That would be pretty insane. I haven't seen Xiphos lose this matchup in quite some time. So anyways, down here on the ground, you can see that the Glade Lord is fighting with the Eternal Guard. And that's kind of the thing, though. A lot of the Bretonnian cav are in sustained combat against, spear units. And if they try and fall back, the Wild Riders can chase them. In the back, you can see there's some Knights of the Realm coming. The Way Watchers are just trying their little hearts out to get away here. And it seems like Xiphos might be able to free them up, finally. Knights of the Realm are wavering and broken. He's going to get some nice Overwatch fire here. And maybe there's going to be a Pravenoth Raim on these guys. I think he kind of needs to. Because they're going to come in and potentially, get up and around and just hammer into the back of those guys. Although he does have Wild Riders here. He has a group of 45 who should be able to stop them. So now the Bretonnians have, their charge has faltered a little bit. Lewin is kind of in the danger zone here. It looks like he's going to be getting the Lion Shield activated. which will keep him relatively safe from missile play. Wild Riders are surrounding here, but there are going to be some Waywatcher volleys coming in, probably going after Lewin, I would imagine. The Bretonnian Cav coming in for a second push here. Knights of the Realm pushing in as well. These ones pushing in, but Lewin is in the danger zone, but Earthblood plus Lion Shield doing a very good job of keeping him healed up. But now, you know, there's a lot of Bretonnian infantry coming in that have to be dealt with for sure, and the Waywatchers are a little bit compromised here. You can see some Knights of the Realm going to be charging into the back, getting a nice lancing charge. That's like probably one of the most gratifying feelings in the game when you finally catch the Waywatchers. I have to say from experience, it feels so damn good. So these Waywatchers continuing to fall back here. Wild Riders and company charging downward, going after the Grail Knights, going after these ones as well. And the Spellsinger of Life is making a valiant last stand, but guys, I don't know. The Bretonnians, I guess their infantry quality is pretty poor. It's mostly men-at-arms. Oh, Pravenoth Raymond going down on Lewin, so there it is right there. So are the Waywatchers going to focus down Lewin right now? He's up in the sky. He's a pretty vulnerable target for sure. Some Knights of the Realm going to be coming back in, and I mean, these guys could make a difference as well, but it looks like Xiphos is more so trying to peel the Cav than focus down Lewin. Yeah, they're getting a good charge, and the danger of being so close to the edge of the map for Xiphos is the fact that these Waywatchers, if they take like any damage that would break them, they could get pushed off the map. And there's men-at-arms here as well. The Wood Elves are kind of pinned in a bit of a bad position here. The Glade Lord's falling back. I mean, some of the Bretonnian Cav are breaking off the map due to the Eternal Guard, but there's still a ton of just haggard Bretonnians running around shirtless everywhere, and if Lewin doesn't get killed and he keeps healing, he's going to be able to bully a lot of the Wood Elves. So, these Waywatchers are here. I do not believe they're immune to psychology, so there could be a terror route as well. Some Wild Riders pushing in, the Damsel of Life as well, and it looks like the Glade Lord for Xiphos is going to be going in to engage Lewin as well, which is a bit of a bold strategy. It could pay off, but the amount of Wild Riders here is quite nice. Those Wild Riders might actually be able to kill that Damsel, or at least put her in a bit of a dangerous position. So in the front line, let's take a look. Azurai Spears are holding things back. Eternal Guard doing their thing. There's still a fair amount of men-at-arms and peasant mobs and things like that. It's actually, this is a really close, really good game here. Prussian Prince appears to have gotten a Shield of Thorns off, so he does get the physical resist. And he's just trying to get rid of the Waywatchers, which is really smart. If he gets rid of the Waywatchers, then Lewin is going to have like a field day on this battlefield. He could cycle charge. He could pretty much goon out whatever he wants. I'm surprised we haven't had a terror route. Like, I'm surprised there hasn't been anything there. Xiphos trying his best to keep the Waywatchers safe. Gets a nice volley off right in the face of those Knights of the Realm, putting him down to 3 models as they charge in right there. They still get the charge, which is quite clutch. And these Wild Riders, I would imagine, their Frenzy's not active, so they should not be immune to psychology right now. But a nice volley coming in. These Wild Riders are close to the battlefield. They should be breaking off right now. So Lewin takes a big blast to the face, but beautiful Lion's Shield by Prussian Prince. Man, mitigating that missile damage pretty effectively. Now he comes in, and I can see a terror route maybe coming in for these guys. Sword of Crone is active. Some of the Spearmen-at-Arms are surging back here as well. But somehow the Wood Elves are still ahead on the balance of power. I think it's probably because of all the spears on the map, and like, even though it looks like Bretonnia has a lot of stuff, most of them are just like men-at-arms or like chaff-level infantry. But it's still close enough that it's anyone's game here. Arrow of Kernus coming down. Nice play there by Xiphos. Man, Xiphos is such a scrapper. Just going to the end. Like, when he's pinned up against the map, he's finding those micro-level plays. It's incredible stuff. So Lewin's coming in here. Terror route maybe going to go down here. I'm really surprised that these Waywatchers haven't been susceptible to the terror yet. The Men-at-Arms of Bretonnia do get caught, and oh man, Lewin getting a punch in the face there. But he is going to be fighting back against his Glade Lord. Pravenoth Raymond is active, and he has some room for his healing cap. But if Lewin breaks, it's pretty much over. Like, if he flies off the edge of the map, that's going to be game over. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, now you can see some of these guys are breaking, but that's going to be it. Man, what a close game. Prussian Prince putting up an amazing fight, but it looks like the Wood Elves are going to be able to endure. They have a ton of spears left, and Eternal Guard are actually pretty good infantry. They have, like, good combat stats, and Men-at-Arms, they just vastly outclass them. So, that was close. That was a really close game, actually. Incredibly close stuff. But Xiphos is going to take that one. Man, that was a game. That was a really good game between those two players. I have to say, well played to Prussian Prince. That's the closest I've seen someone come to beating Xiphos' Wood Elves with Bretonnia in quite some time. Yeah, but Xiphos finding those micro-level plays, like in the pocket. Oh man, just like calm, not panicking. That is, he's kind of in the corner there. Just really good stuff. All right, so we're going to update the scoreboard to be Xiphos. Taco's still the current leader, having won 2. Nobody's won more than 2 so far. So next up we have, let's take a look at the scoreboard here. We have Muckip. You're up, brother. Let's get you in here. All right, so next up, Xiphos stays. It was. Let's find the Muckip. I believe he's on my friends list. That was a really good game. We've had a lot of great battles today. It's been a good showcase of what the community has to offer. So Mukip, I don't know if you're under a different name. I don't see you here. But nonetheless, try and join if you can. I'll tag him in the Discord. Yeah, what else do you have very good leadership? All right. Man, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Loopy, it is the time of ODM. Zyphos is on top. And then after that, so if we take a look at our remaining list for the day, let's see who's up after that. So we have Mukip, A-Move Hacker, Aerocrastic, Yonald, Undertaker, Samurai Warrior, and Wicked D. That's going to be the rest of the run. I'm not sure Space Emperor's Spar. I think he just had Pravenoth Rema and Arrow of Kurnus, so I don't think there was any localized buffs. I think it was just circumstantial. You know, Lewin just got like slowly dragged down over the course of that fight. I'm gonna make sure that our boy can see the battle here. Mukip, is he here? Did he go FK? I don't know if he's on my friends list. I wish I could sort by name too. It's kind of weird. I guess you can on Steam. I'm not seeing a mannequin. Oh, goodness. QSA Colorado. I like that. That's fun. I think I know who that is. Who's in the lead? Currently Flying Taco. He won 2. Nobody's won more than 2. It's been like pretty back and forth across the board. Across the board indeed. Alrighty. Testing. Where art thou, Mukip? Let me shoot him a direct message, guys. Give me 1 second. If he's not here, we can just move on to the next person, too. Not a big deal. Shot him a direct message. We'll see. Hey, Turin. Bought the Dark Imperium box, but got the wrong glue. Universal. Can I just go buy... Yeah, super glue works really well. Honestly, I used... So, Mr. Mandraken, I used to use plastic glue, but I switched to super glue, for like Gorilla. I think it's like a Gorilla super glue or something. Actually, let me go check. I have it on my desk. Hang on 1 second. And it works pretty good. It holds much stronger. So if you're like doing the wings on like a Prince or like Mortarian's like big heavy wings, it's better. Yeah, so what I would recommend is Gorilla Super Glue. It's a little small vial and it has a brush and nozzle. So it's like a glue container that comes with a micro brush thing. So you can basically brush on the glue like in really fine areas without having to like squirt it on. It works really well. All right, let me see if Mukip's responding. He hasn't responded, so we'll go to the next person. All right, so King of the Hill list. So next up, we're going to go to A-Move Hacker. A-Move, you're up. Not sure where Muck is. And we can, when Mukip comes back, we can throw him in. Yeah, there's tons of good ones you can use, though, to be honest. But yeah, it's just, it is what it is. A-Move, I don't know if you're playing under some treacherous name, but yeah, I don't know. There's all these meme names. I never know where they are. Alrighty. Yeah, it's really nice. It comes with a brush on it, like which makes it so easy to apply. Because sometimes if you like squeeze the bottle and it comes out in like a drop, it can like it can be just a little bit tougher to control, and it can like blob. And then when you glue the piece on, the glue spreads from out from under the seam, and it looks kind of haggard. Yeah, the Dark Imperium box is an okay starting box. I would recommend, if you want to play Death Guard, get your hands on 3 Plague Burst Crawlers. That's like one of the most important things. Those guys, Foul Blight spawns are really good. Demon Princes are fun. And honestly, there are some combos that you can use with Plague Marines that are fun. If you use them with the Biologist Putrefier. Slap him in a Rhino or like some sort of a transport. Get him up the field. All right, A-Move Hackers joining up. I don't know what his Steam name is. Let me see if I can find him here. Curse all these meme names. It just makes it harder to find, guys, you know? I guess I can see which people on my list are playing Total War Warhammer. He's Oliphant in game. Okay. Oliphant. Join up. Come on, let's get this show on the road. And for anyone watching back, there will also be timestamps as well. Sorry about the delay, guys. It's the nature of the beast, unfortunately, with lobbies in this freaking game. So after A-Move Hacker, we have Aerocrastic. Oh yeah. Zyphos coming through with the steel chair? Perhaps so. We got to change the map as well. We'll do Angui. We'll do this for our next map here. We'll see who carries this King of the Hill into the sunset. Had some pretty stiff competition today so far. And it looks like he's firing up the game. Yeah, when we're experimenting with some new rules, so Aerocrastic's been working on some, and I think it's fun to just try out different rule sets and see, you know, what people like, and also it creates like discussion, you know, because if you just keep the rules the same, I think it's good to kind of update and, you know, get people's opinions on things. So it's going to be nice to try out these new rules, and if there are issues, they'll be adjusted accordingly. They're made by Aerocrastic and a few other fine gentlemen, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Three Kingdoms PvP was not very good. It was not very good, unfortunately. Yeah, I have like almost no interest in that game. And not that it's a bad game, but just Warhammer's just so much better. It's like, in my opinion. All right, so we have A-Move Hacker facing off against Zyphos. We're going to be on Angui. So Zyphos, pick and double ban. Looks like A-Move is loading into the game here. Zyphos is the gladiator. Are you not entertained? Is there no one else? Arrow is the terror in the night, yes. No, Three Kingdoms was a good game. It's just not my type of game, you know? Like, I'm not terribly interested in the time period, nor do I like the battle element of the game. I think the campaign map's kind of fun, but like the Warhammer campaign map's just so much better. It's like I just think Warhammer is a vastly superior game. Yeah, so that's just my 2 cents. But I know there's people who disagree. There's people I've talked to who enjoy Three Kingdoms more than other games, but, you know. Yeah, I mean, Total War Warhammer has its issues too. Let's roll. All right, so these players are going to work it out. So we have A-Move Hacker, who's playing as a giant walrus, Oliphant, and he's facing off against Zyphos. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Alrighty. On the road again. I just can't wait to be on the road again. I wonder what they're going to pick. Yes. So he picks Wood Elves and he bans Dwarves and Empire. Oh, Zyphos is coming for blood today. He's coming for blood. And he knows that A-Move Hacker is like a dwarf main, so he's like, no mercy, no quarter, show them no mercy. Troy Total War, yeah, I'll try it. I'm not like, it's not going to be like a long term, like, yeah, this is going to be like a legacy game, but like I'll play like a campaign and have fun, like in a head to head or something. I know Warhammer kind of did like really show up all the other games, right? Oh, Vampire Coast. I like it. I wonder if he's going to go with the dreaded Queen Bess. Oh, I hope he plays Vampire Coast. I love Vampire Coast. They've been nerfed enough that like I think people can enjoy watching them and not feel dirty now. Oliphant means elephant in Dutch. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm actually playing a 40k game tonight at like 5:30 or so. I got a showdown. It's going to be my... Oh no, please don't do a Wood Elf mirror. I think he's checking something on the roster. I really just hope it's not a Wood Elf mirror. Oh god, please. Okay, if I already have Dark Imperium and plan to mainly play versus my friends using the entire box, should I get No Fear? So, Mandraken, if you're going to play Death Guard, the cheapest way to upgrade your army while also making it good is to go on eBay. Because all the things from Dark Imperium can be bought on eBay for like dirt cheap. So basically, your box comes with one Fetid Bloat Drone. Go on eBay and buy 2 more. Fetid Bloat Drones aren't as good as Plagueburst Crawlers, but you can get them for literally like $10 or $15 on eBay because of the Dark Imperium box. So I would, like, if you want a budget upgrade, I would go get 2 more Fetid Bloat Drones and just buy, like, you know... It depends, yeah. Like, just... You can buy copies of the Dark Imperium stuff. And it sounds like you're playing casual, so I'm not going to give you, like, the super cutthroaty stuff, but, like, maybe just get, like, a box of Blightlord Terminators, equip them with the flail, and then get, like, a couple more Bloat Drones, and that'll honestly give you a pretty sizable army. Space Emperor wants... Is there a call for Pentabloat? No, Oliphant's going Skaven. He's going Skaven, I think. No, please no Wood Elf Mirror. God, no. All right, so looks like they're finally picking their armies here. We have Skaven versus Wood Elves here. Skaven, of course, have been a top performer in the competitive tournament circuit for quite some time. Very, very strong faction. But I'm sure Xiphos, as a Wood Elf main, has his ways of dealing with them. We'll find out. Is Amove Hacker going to unseat Xiphos from the throne? Perhaps so. Perhaps not. In a small town without a Games Workshop nearby or even Game Store. Oh, that's rough, yeah. Nothing close by. Yeah, Mandrakon, but honestly, if you want to like invest in the long term for Death Guard, just get Plagueburst Crawlers, like 3 of them, and equip them with the Spitters. Foul Blight Spawns are probably some of the best characters. Demon Princes of Nurgle are very, very good. Blightlord Terminators are very, very solid, but more so in a group of 10 than 5. So if you don't want to get like 10 Blightlords, I probably wouldn't bother with them. Fetid Bloat Drones are really good. Yeah, and it sounds like you're playing casually, so you'll be fine. But just get the Plagueburst Crawlers, man. Like, they're really good. They're like the staple of Death Guard with the Spitters. So Axel De Lima, we actually had Orion earlier today. He had a last stand against the Norskins that was quite valiant. It was quite a valiant effort. Currently, no one's won more than 2 games, which is something. Do Wood Elves get giant spiders, or is that just the greenskins? Just greenskins. Yeah, Wood Elves don't have anything to do with the spiders in this game. Yeah, Mandraken, they are expensive, I know. So yeah, I mean, if you're really budget, though, Mandraken, just get the Fetid Bloat Drones for like $10 or $15 off eBay. Just get 2 more, because you can only run 3 of them anyway, so... And you already have 1. Like, Fetid Bloat Drones are really good. Trust me. Like, so, you'll be happy with them. And, yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I started off with Fetid Bloat Drones when I started playing. So, how do you feel about Murderous Prowess Bar? I'm not really sure. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it too much. It's something that you just kind of forget about, but I don't know if it's overpowered. Dark Elves are top tier, for sure. Yeah, spiders are just a Forest Goblin thing. Finally, we're gonna get a game! I did, Dario, I have the replay coming up soon. Yeah, it was a fun one. I'm not gonna spoil anything, so you have to wait and watch it. It was really fun. It was a great one. We had a good time. Mr. Jorgensen, thank you for the 50 DKK, and he says, Wood Elves are hippies, and thus picking them should be a bannable offense. That's just your opinion? Hey man, fair play. So they're not for everyone, you know? Although, honestly, though, Mr. Jorgensen, if you, like... I'm not a fan of elves, either. But if you know the lore of Wood Elves, yeah, they, like, love nature, but their attitudes towards, like, people and care and love, they're not hippies. They're, like, pretty murderous and brutal in reality. That's what's cool about, like, elves and Warhammer is they're not, like, kind of... Yeah. Trust me, you'd be surprised. If you read some of the lore, you're like, oh my god, what did Orion do to that guy? What race do you think is the least competitive in multiplayer? Probably Bretonia. My name is Turin after my Italian ancestry. Yeah, because my dad is Italian. My dad's half Italian, half Irish. And, of course, he has the Italian last name. But, yeah, it would be cool if it was after that, but it's not. So Zyphos really picking quite carefully here. Yeah, Wood Elves, like, hippies are all about, like, care and love, regardless of where you come from. But, like, Wood Elves, if you're not, like, from Athaloran and, like, you come into their turf, they're just going to straight up kill you, you know? Yeah. Shit gets pretty wild. And no, there's no lag. The players haven't readied up yet. There they go now. I would say, like, of all the elves, the Wood Elves are probably my favorite. Like, lore-wise, in Warhammer Fantasy. Like, Orion is just such a cool character. And Durthu, come on. Vampire counts are in a weird place, for sure. They're not as good as they used to be. They're very, very tough to play. So here we are, my friends. The King of the Hill continues. Sorry about the delay. We had someone drop out. Or just wasn't around. Maybe they had some sort of an issue or had to go or something. So we had to find a replacement to change up the order, and here we are. So Zyphos on the Wood Elves. Clearly he's out for blood, facing off against A-Move Hacker and his Foul Skaven. And now, if you do want a matchup in which Orion is actually a pain in the butt, I think this one is it. Orion is like, he's very hard for Skaven to kill. He has high mass. He can punt through Skavens. He has anti-large for their monsters. And, yeah. Matthew Giannotti, I have some balance suggestions, but it would take a lot of time to go through all that. My middle name is Turin. That's my middle name. Like, legit. My legal middle name. I was very uncreative. In 40k tabletop, I play Death Guard primarily. And then I mix in Black Legion and Thousand Suns. Those are my tabletop armies. And then in Warhammer Fantasy, I play Empire. I have an Empire army. A bunch of I have 9 Demogryph Knights, Karl Franz, Volkmar the Grim, a bunch of proud state troops of the Empire. But that's a project I'm just starting on. So I actually got some interesting news yesterday while we have a little bit of downtime. So basically, when I first got my hand problem in 2011, I've had it forever, guys. It just hasn't gotten better. So I was doing pull-ups at the time with a weight vest on. So this was before I had the issue. And I was doing pull-ups with a 50-pound weight vest on. I used to be pretty fit, actually. And I was doing it, and I basically had a huge pop in my shoulder that I never addressed. And at the same time, I injured a tendon on my wrist, basically, which I'm now learning, like, probably resulted in this horrible issue I've had for years. So ultimately, I went to my shoulder. I finally went to a shoulder doctor. I was like, I wonder if there's, like, an issue with my shoulder. It feels weird. And yeah, I've had a torn labrum for, like, a really severely torn one for like freaking 9 years. So I found out I had a torn labrum, which I have to get surgery for. So that'll probably be sometime in the new year. And then for my wrist, I'll probably be getting surgery to remove scar tissue from my tendon, which is causing a lot of these issues pretty soon as well. So I'll make sure to update you guys on that. But yeah, just crazy stuff. Like, my whole right arm and the extremity is just jacked up. How many pull-ups can you do in one go? Well, now basically none. Because, like, I mean, I could do a couple, but my hand, I have a really bad hand problem and a torn labrum. I can't really do overhead stuff easily. So, yeah. Mr. Jorgensen, thank you for the 20 DKK. BDSM elves. Yeah, your favorite are the Dark Elves? Dark Elves are pretty cool, for sure. Like, I love the aesthetic of their armor and everything, but yeah, thank you for the donation, Mr. Jorgensen. And Captain Goofy as well. Why can I not see that? Hold on. So I can pull up Streamlabs while these players set up the armies. We'll go through in just a second. Might have to get 2 surgeries, probably one in December and one in, like, February. Thank you for the streams. Got me into multiplayer. Captain Goofy, welcome to multiplayer, brother. Then we have the Space Emperor. Finally wanted to donate. You always enjoy the streams. Thank you, man. I really appreciate your support. Yeah, and hopefully after that, I'll be back to a relative normal state where I'll be able to stream longer, be able to play more battles. I'm actually really excited because, yeah, it will, I think. I think it will be improvement. The shoulder one isn't going to be as big of an issue, but I can start exercising again once that heals, which I'm very excited to do pull-ups and wrestling, jiu-jitsu, all that, you know. The Doctor thinks it'll be an improvement for sure for my hand. All right, so for the Skaven army and Oliphant, the Challenger, A-Move Hacker, front line's going to be Skaven Slave, secondary line's going to be some Rat Ogres. Interesting choice of Rat Ogres. Probably going to be using those to just stop Wild Riders. You need something with mass with Skaven. Otherwise, like dragons or things like that are just going to feast on your Lord's souls. A couple Plague Monks in reserve, as well as some Gutter Runners. And on the far side, I think we saw some Doomflayers. Yeah, he's got the Dwarf Thing Menace for sure. So it's going to be the Elf Thing Menace this game. The Grey Seer with Lore of Ruin with the Howling Warpgill, a couple other things like that. But honestly, as far as what I can see in A-Move's army, I'm a little bit concerned for him. I don't know how he's going to stop like the missile play. He does have some mobile pressure in the form of like Dwarf Thing Menace, but like there's Wild Riders, there's Dragons. Arrows of Kurnus going down, just going right after that Grey Seer. So the good old 2-for-1 special right in the face. The 3-piece with a soda here, right in the face here of the Grey Seer. On top of that, Deepwood Scouts opening up with a nice volley here on the Rat Ogres. And Xiphos, again, doing that same tactic. He forces down the big high-mass threats, right? And then what he does, he pulls forward the Wild Riders, and he moves into your cheap infantry with his cav unit. So, hey, Glassberg, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the Everchosen, man. Glad you enjoyed it. Glad you enjoyed it. So yeah, for the Lord, it's going to be a Glady, of course. He loves to use that with Praven Othrema, and it's very, very good against Skaven. Like, isolating a Lord or a character, I mean, Skaven definitely do not like losing their Lord, nor does anybody, but it's especially punishing for low leadership factions. So Deepwood Scouts, these are just the regular ones, it looks like, and he's just going to be shooting in, going after the Gutter Runners, basically just focusing all the elements of this army that can actually threaten his mobility and have some range themselves. So you can see that as kind of a recurring motif. But now the Wood Elves are going to be just emerging from the forest. So the first group of Wild Riders is going to come down and just lancing down these Clan Rats here. So that's a very thematic Wood Elf ambush from the forest, right? And immediately Xiphos pulls back. So he charges in on 2 fronts. Snare Net's going down right here, which is quite nice. So they take a couple shurikens to the face. They also get snared by the nets. So that was a good counter push there. But in the meantime, the Dragon's going to be coming in. And it looks like actually committing to a pretty heavy fight, pulling in some Wild Riders to help, maybe thinking it can overwhelm this Rat Ogre position. But now the Deepwood Scouts look to be sniping. Oh my god, that Grey Seer just taking a volley to the face. And oh, he does have some Way Watchers. So he has 2 Way Watchers, and the rest of his units are actually Deepwood Scouts. So yeah, he's basically just kiting back, but the Dragon is a little bit wrapped up. Howling Warpgill has gone down, so that Dragon actually can't move right now. So there's a chance those Rat Ogres could actually do some decent damage. So Xiphos falling back in the meantime. You can see Wild Riders going to be coming in for a rear charge on these Skaven Slaves here. So here it comes. Boom, just pounding right into those guys. And that should free up the archers. So, I mean, so far Xiphos is in pretty good shape. I mean, the Dragon getting caught is a little bit dangerous, but it should be able to get away before any serious damage comes. So here he comes. Up in the sky goes the Glade Lord, taking some of those missiles to the face. So good counterplay here from A-Move for sure. He's been able to, punish the Lord a little bit, and the Skaven army has advanced without taking too much damage. So, but Xiphos has fallen back though. Really, if you look at it, the only thing that's taken a lot of damage in his army is this one group of Wild Riders plus his Dragon. But again, the Dragon can probably be healed, and all of his archers are in okay shape. But, if A-Move wants to, he could, of course, hide in the forest, but oh no, this assassin's a little bit exposed here. If the Praven Othrema or something, I mean, this assassin could easily get sniped here. And you can see Xiphos smells that. He's like, oh, fresh fish. And yeah, A-Move reacts pretty quickly here for sure. He might be able to get that assassin away. Balance power is still even enough. Ammunition usage is a big factor as well, because Xiphos is pretty much his entire army is based on the ammunition of these characters, aside from his Wild Riders. Charge coming in right here. Rat Ogres and Doomflayers are coming in to intercept. And Doomflayers actually aren't bad against Wild Riders. They have decent mass and do some okay damage, even though they're designed against infantry. Rat Ogres being focused down by Deepwood Scouts and Way Watchers. Wild Riders coming in for a huge hammering charge, forcing off these Plague Monks here in the back. Praven Othrema going down, the Dwarf Thing Menace, which needs to be done. That thing it's a menace for sure. It's armored, pretty good against those Deepwood Scouts, and can push forward. So the Wild Riders charging in once again. The Dragon coming in as well. And yeah, I mean, just masterful Wood Elf play so far. And it looks like the Skaven are going to be breaking in this pocket pretty hard. And the archers are like relatively full health. I mean, I don't think any of them have taken too much damage, except this one group, I guess, has lost about 10 models, give or take here. And here they come. Some Rat Ogres have gotten on top of those guys. And the Howling Warpgale play has been really, really good here. And the Warp Storm Scroll, which actually does damage and also slows the target by 48%. So now all the Slingers are going in. And I mean, if A-Move were able to get the Dragon, that would be pretty substantial for sure. That would probably be one of the only ways he can win this game. Because, like, though the Wood Elves look like they're kind of cornered, you can see there's just a massive goon squad of Wild Riders just going around picking off all the mobility for the Skaven. The Slingers, though, are doing solid, and the Dragon's getting quite low. Warp Storm Scroll, he probably should have waited until after the Howling Warpgale wore off before he used that. Because, unfortunately, I think he layered them at the same time, and it could have been more slows and more pinning, right? So the Skaven Warlord's going in for the kill as well. The Grey Seer trying to get some ramming. The Dwarf Thing Menace keeping the Glade Lord from getting up in the sky. And it's actually wavering right now. So Xiphos is going to be pulling in his Wild Riders to kind of free up this position. And once this big Wood Elf missile line gets a free volley here, oh man, that's going to be really painful. Nice Howling Warpgale going down once again. Is A-Move going to be able to get this? So here come the rat ogres surging in, and the dragon's getting low, negative 39. It's broken, but it's also snared. So the Skaven Slinger is going to continue throwing their pebbles here. And are the Skaven going to be able to claw their way back into this game? They're going to lose their lord here. Yeah, 244 here. The Grey Seer is definitely going down, but the dragon for Xiphos is going to get away. The Grey Seer just crumbles into a pile of wood and wreckage here as the dragon pulls back up into the sky. So at this point, if we look, you can see that the rats are just pushing onto the archers to the best of their abilities, but I don't know, the dragon getting away. Is it going to come back? I mean, how close is it to the edge of the map? I think it will rally, especially if Xiphos drops a heal on it. The Spellslinger of Life is still in pretty good shape. Dwarfling Men is still pushing, but I mean, most of the Skaven army is just a bunch of haggard slingers at this point. We have Skaven Slave Slingers, and yeah, they're just saying, well, good luck. Truth be told, I haven't played this matchup since the Skaven DLC, says Xiphos, but yeah, there they go. The rats are kind of in a mass exodus now, so Wood Elves are finally able to kind of sustain that charge. The assassin here is going to easily get picked off. The dragon can come in and spit roast him as well if he wants to. He's thinking about it. And yeah, Pravenoth Rama, the ceremonial execution for this rat, as the Wood Elves just unleash a torrent of fire into this guy. Oh, God. Oh, that assassin's just taking it like a champ. But he's still alive somehow, which is pretty crazy. Concealment Bomb's doing some work. So at this point, I don't know what A-Move's doing. I guess he's just trying to stabilize with some gutter runners, but really it's just 100% over. It's going to be army losses after a couple more volleys. Yeah. Oh, man. And there we go. The last of the rats just being focused down by the archers. The dragon got some good healing back up to 1,000 HP. And it looks like he's shooting at some of the rat ogres, picking those bad boys off. Skaven are trying to resurge, but the Wild Riders should be able to kind of pin down any pressure coming back in with the support of this Spellsinger. Another group of Wild Riders up here is going to make sure that none of these rats make it in. And Xiphos with a pretty close game, actually. You know, most of his archers, he did... I mean, look how healthy they all are. Man, despite all that pressure, he did a really good job keeping them alive. That assassin got executed for sure. He got put down. That assassin was 100% sent out to pasture. All right, so Xiphos currently is going to be tying for the King of the Hill position. So if you go ahead and do this here, Xiphos will be 2. So he's tied with Takos. We'll just leave it as is so you guys can see. But Xiphos does have 2. And next up, we have Aerocrastic, former ever-chosen champion, Herald of Clan QSA. All right. Hey, look, it's my lovely wife. Here she is. Hopefully she's enjoying those delicious treats I made her for breakfast. Hopefully she is. Delicious sushi treats made with love and care. And next we have Aerocrastic. Xiphos says, I didn't expect that. All right, so Arrow, you're up. Let's get you guys on the Pillar of Bone. All right, so let's see. This is going to be quite a showdown. So Xiphos, pick and double. And here they go. It is time. Yeah, I've been learning to do some haggard kitchen treats lately. Yeah. The Ever Chosen can be found on Total War Official's YouTube channel. You can find them all there. Yeah. Aerocrastic won the one with the Vampire Coast. We're doing it to it. We are doing it to it. All according to the plan. Yeah, apparently so. So now, Xiphos versus Aerocrastic here. Let's see what the matchup's going to be. So, do you know what month it is? No, heck, November. Yeah, this is Aerocrastic for anyone wondering. He says, I know. I wonder if we're going to see that. Like a Vampire Coast with Lore of Deep or something. It's so suboptimal, but it certainly does refine your play because you have to be more careful. You don't have the crutch of Nehek. It's like a blackened salmon. Grondorn, what's your question about white lines, my friend? All right, so let's see. Xiphos wondering if you should stay elves. Wanting to hold the throne. If Xiphos wins this, he'll put himself in a pretty commanding position to take this King of the Hill. Like a three streak is pretty good. Although I think the most epic streak we had was actually Aerocrastic. He won 9 games in a row once. Darlin, how's work? You surviving? Not much going on, huh? Yeah, no Nehek November is apparently a thing. Stay strong, my necromancers. Don't stroke your forbidden rod. Okay, so Zyphos is going to switch to High Elves, and Arrow is probably going to go Vampire Counts. I wonder if he's actually going to do no Nehek. That's a really risky play against Zyphos. He's masterful at sniping things. I want to see if Arrow can beat Zyphos' Wood Elves. Prussian Prince, I don't... No, he's Arrow's going to try hard, but he's also doing no Nehek November, which means he's not bringing Invocation of Nehek, which is a huge crutch, especially against Elvish factions. He bans Tomb Kings and Vampire Coast and forces Arrow onto the Vampire Counts. I'm eager to see how he does this. I hope he uses Nehek. I just hope he does, because if he doesn't, it's going to be so difficult. So after this, we have Yonald, if he's still here, and we have Undertaker, Samurai Warrior, and Wicked D to close out our day. So no Nehek. Zyphos is like, so you're not using Nehek? Yeah. All right, 1 second, guys. Alrighty. Everything looks good setting-wise. Counts versus Coast, that could be fun. Zyphos is like, so you're not using the Heck and Aerocross. It's like, just you wait. I have a nasty minus 10 gold. What's happening? Oh my god. I'm really eager to see what Arrow does. I mean, look, even without that, vampires still have access to Lore of Death, which is like one of the best lores in the game. So, I mean, you know, they have options. It's not like they're like, I'm too weak. No, they can still do stuff. And just because there's no Nehek doesn't mean you can't use Lore of Vampires, I think, according to his thing. Like, you can... He still uses Raised Dead. The best undead faction in multiplayer, I would say Tomb Kings and Vampire Coast, for sure. I mean, I guess that's like almost all of them. But they're like probably equally as good. Yeah, I think Tomb Kings are really good. We got ourselves a Slobber Knocker. Yes, we do. Dude, don't worry, Wicked. We'll make it happen, dude. We'll make it happen. This is going to be good. I'm genuinely curious because not only are vampire counts super underplayed, but he's not using Invocation of Nehek as a challenge against, you know, one of the best players in the game, arguably, right? Zyphos. So, but so is he. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see if he can pull off the witchcraft. What if he just got like a fat Winds of Death? Oh my god, that'd be so good. All right, 1 second here. All right, here we go. Perfect. Turin, I'm a Lizardman main, and I've found that I struggle against factions with high skirmish ability or outright mobility. Something a lot of people do with the Lizardmen is you bring a couple laser lizards, so you can bring the Solar Engine Bastillodon, and then you buffer your flanks with skink cohorts with javelins to deal with counter skirmishing because they're cheap, they're shielded, and their javelins have okay range. That's a pretty good way to do it. And of course, you can then bring like Mazda Mundi with a net and just countercharge with your cav. Lizards have some pretty good counter skirmishing tools, actually. So hopefully that's helpful to you, my friend. Hopefully that's helpful. Lore of the Deep's okay. Franz, nice, man. Nice. Winds of Death, you know, but the thing is, Zyphos isn't going to... I don't know. Maybe Zyphos would go Elite. If Zyphos went with like a Halberd build, like using like Phoenix Guard and stuff like that, Winds of Death could be okay, but I probably wouldn't risk it. If I were doing what Arrow is doing, I would probably just bring like a freaking, you know, Death. Like, I would just go for Buna and Spirit Leech. You know, if you're trying to stay competitive. Unless he's memeing, of course. I don't know if he's going to... Vampires don't have too many choices for Magic, so we'll see. I probably wouldn't be too interested in a Sigmar Total War. Age of Sigmar, yeah. It's just the lore doesn't do it for me. The game is easy to play and welcoming to newer players, but I just don't like the lore at all. So I would rather just see them invest in like 40K if they're going to do that. Hey, Caleb, it's good to have a midweek stream to get you through some heart anatomy notes. Jesus, man. Well, glad to be of service. Yeah, Tabletop Simulator's a good way to play, actually. Like to get your paws in there. A Vlad von Karstein Death Star? How would that work? I mean, I guess you could bring Graveguard. You could bring like a bunch of corpse carts, black coaches to terror out. I mean, there's a multitude of ways you could do it. It's the thing is though, I think Xiphos is going to bring some pretty heavy missile play, which kind of like makes it hard to bring like Cryptors and things like that. My favorite lore of Magic. I mean, in competitive play, probably Vampires. Like lore of Vampires is the best lore of Magic, I think. One of the best. Lore that and Death, I think, are some of the better ones. Lore of Life, obviously, is one of the better ones. My favorite one to use if I'm just kind of goofing and gaffing is probably Lore of the Deep, but yeah. Lore of the Deep isn't very good, aside from the Crab Summon. I mean, Spiteful Shot's okay, Fog of the Damned is okay, but it's just like you're so crippled if you don't take in the Heck and Invocation and stuff. Hey, Fabian Raw, thank you, man. Glad you're enjoying the goodies. Glad you're enjoying the goodies. Glad to have you here, Fabian. All right, guys, here we go. So for the forces of Aerocrastic, so there's not going to be any invocation, but that does not mean there's not going to be healing. So he does have the Claw of Nagash for heals, plus a Corpse Cart with the Unholy Lodestone. So he has some tools here that can do some healing in the form of the Claw of Nagash. Front line's going to be Zombos, pretty chaff-centric. Nothing really strong except a couple Crypt Ghouls, it looks like, on the far sides of the formation to chew through the spears. A couple Spearmen in the back himself. And now for his force, he does have a Goon Squad. So he has a Vampire of Death with the Sword of Antiheroes, and then he does also have Von Karstein Vampire Lord with the Storm of Night and Flock of Doom and Raised Dead and Von Hills. So pretty good stuff. I mean, he has really optimal good spells aside from the Heck, so I'm excited to see what he does here. So a couple of groups of Black Knights just to kind of dive Archer lines, and up in the sky he does have 2 Vargeist as well. So a fair amount of pressure in the form of the Vargeist and the Black Knights, with some Fellbats lurking on the wings. So, I mean, this looks like a good army. I mean, it has plenty of backline dive, but I mean, Xiphos' force is going to be rock hard and ready to party, so... It's got Spearmen, 4 of those. A Lothern Seaguard here, which again are pretty good against Black Knights. They're anti-large Spearmen themselves. What is the worst lore in your opinion? Space Emperor. The worst lore. Ooh, man, let me think about that. I would have to think about that before I give you an answer. So here you can see there's going to be 2 Nobles and also Teclis. Teclis does have Nets and Regrowth as well. In the back there's going to be some Sisters of Avalorn and some Archers and more Archers. So a very Archer-centric build. And what's cool about High Elf Archers and Lothern Seaguard is like you don't have to allocate resources to defend them. They can just kind of sit and be a bit of a sovereign nation here in the back and just continue to generate their firepower. Now it looks like one of the Nobles is actually on a Chariot, which is interesting. You know, Chariots aren't typically very good against Vampire counts. They're very like dense and have a ton of like cheap units and things like that. But perhaps maybe I'll do a list video on the best lores of Magic. Yeah, you know what? I'll do it this week. So here we go. Here comes the Noble looking for some freebies. Xiphos perhaps trying to bait out the characters here for Aerocrastic. Archers shoot again, but going after the Crypt Ghouls. Yeah, see, this is rough. The Crypt Ghouls are going to get feasted on pretty hard. Hellbats are going to be coming in as well, and the Vargeist is going to be pushing up on this side. Good play here from Arrow. He's going to be pulling back those Crypt Ghouls. He basically just wants the Black Knights and the Zombies to kind of take the firepower because Black Knights are shielded and cheap, and having the Crypt Ghouls take this beating is unfortunate because they're actually quite good against Spearmen and things like that. I know, Michael, it does sound like that, but, you know, we're going in. So here are the Sisters of Avalorn. Oh my god, these Vargeists are going to get wrecked. Oh god, the firepower is nasty. So Arrow at this point needs to pull these guys back. It looks like he's coming in with the casters. So he does have the Von Karstein Vampire Lord. He's probably going to be dropping some fat summons back here as well. So he'll attack the Lothern Seaguard with these 2 and maybe drop a summon on top of the Sisters over here. I'm not sure, but so far he's trying to get in on multiple fronts here. Black Knight's coming around the back and Vargeist getting in here as well. So pretty good diving. I mean, he's compromised quite a few of the archers, but the Net of Damatok coming in from Teclis is quite punishing. And yeah, here comes the Mortis Engine. So I don't know. We'll see. Xiphos has really good positioning, though. I love how all of his forces are kind of like, you know, buffered far apart from each other. So zombie summons and things like that can't really 2-for-1 things. So in the back, the Black Knights are looking to get in, and they have gotten around the spears. Now, Xiphos doesn't have like high mass units of his own to really kind of stop the cav charges and things like that. It's more like his nets, his layering, his defenses in that respect. And here you can see the Vampire of Death is actually getting beaten down by that Noble, which isn't good. So Mortis Engine has gotten into the Lothern Seaguard here. These Sisters are temporarily shut down. Some Skeleton Spears and Zombies are surging into the back line. Bounce Power is rapidly pulling in the favor of Xiphos, though, as he's methodically just picking apart all these different targets. The Mortis Engine is going to be next. I mean, he probably has all of his archers in guard mode, and it seems like Arrow just doesn't have the capabilities to kind of shut these guys down. And Invocation of the Heck, of course, isn't here to heal, but the Mortis Engine does heal itself, but at a very, very slow kind of rate there. So in the back, Skeleton Spears shutting down the Sisters slightly. Lothern Seaguard here fighting against Black Knights, but they'll actually probably win that engagement. Over here we do have the Von Karstein Vampire Lord fighting against Lothern Seaguard. Might be able to break those, but another net going down from Teclis. You can see the net going down right here. It's pretty clutch. And it looks like the Claw of Nagash is going to get its bread buttered super hard. Oh god, it's just getting massacred. And pretty good high elf play for sure. I mean, of course, Zyphos quite masterful at all the different elf factions, but Invocation of the Heck would have helped here, but I don't know how much it would help. I feel like it couldn't outpace the DPS coming in from the different sisters and units like that. And is he saying GG already? No, he's not. Okay. So from here, the vampires don't really have much left. He was able to kill that noble, though, which is quite nice. The Von Karstein Vampire Lord with the Sword of Antiheroes was able to win that duel. But there's just not enough to stop all these characters. Looks like there's going to be a Fiery Convocation going down from Teclis, which actually did get buffed recently and does some pretty good damage. So take note, guys. Let's see if it gets a square contact. So here comes the bird. Oh, it was kind of invisible on the approach. That was very, very strange. So some ghouls surging into the back line. Von Karstein Vampire Lord's in okay shape. Where is the other Vampire Lord? I'm pretty sure it died, actually. I think it must have gotten netted and killed somewhere. Tough stuff. So Skeleton Spearmen in the back are getting in here. And I mean, now Arrow's doing a decent job getting into the back line and shutting down a lot of these tools, but I feel like there's just too much power left. I mean, the Sisters here are fighting zombies, and they're pretty good in melee combat. The Sisters are going to be able to do some solid work. Yeah, it's just looking grim bones here. I mean, unless this Von Karstein Vampire Lord can just, like, goon Teclis, kill the other noble by himself, and just go full Rambo, I don't see it happening. I mean, I guess if he doesn't get hit with army losses, he may have the opportunity to do that. Von Karstein Vampire Lord's very fast, 105 speed against 78 on Teclis, so we can catch him. But the Sisters of Averlorn are just so meaty. Those ladies are thick, and they're going to be tough to take down. So he jumps in the other group of Sisters here. He probably has some more summons and Flock of Dooms, I would imagine. Without spending magic on Invocation, he probably has a lot. And here's going to be an overcasted summon of Skeletons. Ooh, but taking a big old blast there, but it looks like Arrow is able to juke that. Nice play there, just kind of swing it about. There's another noble, swanging and banging, as they say, but that's going to be it. Undead are getting hit with army losses. They just don't have any quality left, and there's tons of high elves, like, in good health all over the map. So, Zyphos is continuing his reign of terror. Will he be taken down? We'll find out here in the next episode. We have a donation coming in from Ivan. He says, hey, Turin, can you please try a Dawi Slayer Runesmith rush someday? Sure. I'll do it, man. I'll do it for you. And thank you for the 200 rubles, man. I really appreciate that. I appreciate it, brother. So, there you have it. The elves coming in hard with a big old juicy bow build. So Zyphos overtakes the taco for the King of the Hill position as we come to the tail end of our King of the Hill today. So next we have Yonald. Let's see if he's still here. See if he's around. Well played. No Nahek November. It was a good try for sure. It's really hard to win without that. Next we'll do River Amazon here. I'm sure people are happy to see the High Elves do well, right? Yeah. High Elves are not a bad faction. A lot of people say they're bad just because of how they may be portrayed on YouTubers' channels, but they're actually quite good. They have some tools. You're up. All right, so Yonald is going to be joining now. Why can I not see the... All right, so let's see what Yonald's got going on here. I've accepted, and he should be able to see the lobby. Yeah, Dawn of War 3 did kind of suck, unfortunately. Aerocrastic, a true champion, trying to win without Invocation. Yeah, decent try for sure. Decent try. So Yonald will be joining in a second. We'll be on River Amazon. Zyphos, the Terror in the Night, the champion of France, coming in here, smashing face. And one sec, guys, just checking. Man, not to jinx it, but we've had pretty good luck here with the internet. So Zyphos, pick, and double ban. We have aneurysm sauce here. I'm going to go get some more water. What's the worst faction in multiplayer? I think Bretonnia has a lot of rough matchups, I think. I think Bretonnia is probably the weakest multiplayer faction. And they have a lot of trouble dealing with like big single entities. Like, you can even, like, spam halberd unit against them, and, like, it's good enough to beat their infantry and their cav. It's just, Bretonnia is super micro-intensive. It's hard. Oh, do we have dwarves versus Vampire Coast? No, he says, I'll go Coast and then ban, and then there's, like, a delay, and then he's like, dwarves! So Aneurysm Sauce going to be going Beastman, I think, which is fun. Ivan, he says, I wonder how economy works because runesmiths can give AP, armor, and ward save to slayers. It's a little bit tricky, Ivan, because slayers still, like, even with that buff is very temporary, and you have to have the runesmith keep pace with them. And the issue is that runesmiths are much slower than slayers, so, like, you're kind of forced into a very slow box with which you can be focused down. Yeah, Xiphos is French. Xiphos is indeed French, yes. He bans greenskins also, and then it looks like he's going Beastmen. Beastmen are actually really good against Vampire Coast. For the longest time I didn't think so, but I feel like Beastmen have a good matchup here. Like, I've lost quite a bit against Beastmen with my Coast. But what Vampire Coast basically, how I understand it is you just have to kind of have, like, an elite monster blob with some, like, sniping stuff in the air. It's really hard to contest the ground because Beastmen are, like, by far one of the best factions at killing chaff and, like, cheap infantry. So. Remember, guys, stay hydrated, my friends. H2O crew, get some water if you've been sitting here for a while. If you're studying late at night, stay hydrated. It'll keep you going strong. This is a fun matchup. So, Mr. Sauce is ready. Xiphos picking his army, so we get to see Coast versus Beastman. High Elves isn't... Yeah, I feel like High Elves have a good matchup versus Vampire Counts. So, Aerocrastic in chat says, High Elves isn't a great matchup for them, but Vampire Counts is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, you're correct. Anyone who can swarm them gives them a Coast a hard time for sure. And plus, like, Beastmen have, like, Gore Herds with shields, which are very, very high DPS for their cost, and they're shielded, they're cheap, like, very hard to deal with in mass. I am a Hydra homie. That is correct. We're doing it. We are doing it to it, my friends. Alrighty. There we go. Cool. Let's see what he brings. I mean, typically for Beastmen, what you do is you just, let's give him a show. I wonder if somebody's going to bring a bloaty boy. Xiphos will be the hero that we need. So what I think Mr. Sauce will do probably is he'll probably bring, like 4 or 5 Ungo Raiders, 3 or 4 Harpies just to, like, deal with deck droppers, and then just, like, a bunch of Gore Herds and, like, then some Butchers of Kalkengard to deal with armor with some Razor Gore Herds. That's, like, the standard against Coast. That's really good. Chrysum 1924, I have to go to work, but I love your stuff. Hey, man, thank you for the $10 donation. And secondly, good luck at work, man. Hopefully it's not too hard to get through. You must be working or in some part of the world that's very different than here. Maybe Australia or something, but good luck at work, man. Coming in with that wholesome health reminder. Oh, current leader needs updating. Did I forget to give Xiphos another point? Probably did. I think I did. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Xiphos is 1-3, right? Yeah, current leader, though, needs to be upgraded. Is it 3 or 4? How many has Xiphos won, guys? I can't remember. To be updated after Arrow's game? I'll just put 4 for now and we can change it. I think it's 3. So let me look at the list. Hold on. Got to do some maths here. So Xiphos played Prussian Prince. Then he played A move, and then he played Arrow. So it's 3. This is number 4 for him. Okay. It's 3. We got it. The power of math conquers all. So players doing some fine tuning here. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Medieval 2 Elder Scrolls mod. People just throwing out random numbers. Just like 10, 15. Come on, guys. $1 million. I know. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff, my friends. So we're doing pretty good. Going hard in the stream. Going hard. We have a couple more competitors to close things out. Will somebody be able to unseat the Xiphos, though? That is the question. So after this, we have 3 more players on the list. Well, he beat Skaven, Bretonnian, and Vampire counts. He did. Skaven are pretty top tier. Yeah. Oh, we're good, Mr. Sauce. Start anytime. I'm hosts. I have spectator mode. I have the power. Ready up. Well, Lich 109, it's the thing is, if Xiphos gets another win, it's going to be pretty hard to catch him with the allotted amount of time. I may extend it to 3 hours just to give people a chance to catch him, but we'll see what happens. Alfarius, thank you for your manipulation of the Imperium, and thank you for your 10 Zlotus. I should go to bed, but your streams are addictive. Hey, man. Hang out, man. It's all Dobja, my friend. Just get some of that kielbasa, get some of that sweet, sweet, fresh bread. Just sit there, some compote. You know, just enjoy the stream. Oh my god, I want some kielbasa now. They actually have some at my local market. It's not as good as the kielbasa in Poland, but it's pretty solid. Anna made me a kielbasa feast. Are Giants competitive against Vampire Coast? No. Because Vampire Coast is just too good at powder weaponry. It's too risky. Yeah, the Giants have a really hard time against... Like, Giants are good against, like, factions that don't have good powder weaponry. That are, like, using, like, throwing axes and things like that. Okay, yeah, everything looks good. Is Xiphos continuing No Nehek November, says Aerocrastic. Perhaps so. I feel like it's like a curse, like you've passed the curse on to him. But I have a feeling no, if I had to guess. Nope, he has it all right. Xiphos is hell for blood, I'm telling you. Yeah. All right, so Xiphos' build looks... This is great, actually. I'm going to be learning something here because I've been having trouble with this matchup. Okay, guys, so Xiphos didn't continue No Nehek November, but he brought a bloated corpse. So, you know, in a way... He's still trying to appease the masses here. All right, so for Xiphos' army in the front line, it's going to be just deckhand mobs, Tide of Skilled, but he does also have a couple Sirens, which I like. You know, if the Beastmen don't have any direct magic to use on them, they could actually be quite tough to kill. Plus, they also cause terror, which is very, very useful. On top of that, he's got a Bloody Boy, 2 Morngul Hunters, again, terror, anti-infantry, very good at, you know, just cleaving through the stuff of the Beastmen, but he also has a gun line. So he's got a couple gunnery mobs with handguns, including the Black Spot, forming a bit of a doom box here, and... for his lord, he does have a Vampire Fleet Admiral of Crabs with Invocation and Drowned Dead. And a Bloated Corpse. I bet he'll hide the Bloody Boy back here and then like just bring it out and like kind of collapse the Beastmen flank here. I actually, you know, I wonder if Bloody Boys would be good against Beastmen in general. Hard to say. I know. It's like bloats for goats. Hashtag bloats for goats. I like that. That's good. And now for the Beastmen army, who shall be led by Mr. Sauce. He does have Gore Herds in the front line. Pretty standard stuff, but a ton of Chaos Spawn, which is very interesting. I mean, talk about lawnmowers. These guys will be able to kill deckhand mobs very quickly, but also a little bit susceptible to the focus fire. Now, to deal with Armored Crabs and things like that, he has Razor Gore Herds as well, who have good AP and generally decent mobility. For his lord, he probably has Morker the Shadowgave, standard competitive pick, Manticore Summon Caster, and some Harpies. Yeah, so like almost like we predicted, the one thing I didn't really see coming was the spawn, but if you're just going for a blitz build, I mean, I guess don't worry about the powder too much and just hope you can break through it. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Good luck, have fun. Good luck, have fun. Rooting for the thick boys? By thick boy, do you mean the bloaty boy or do you mean the spawn? They're both quite thick and disgusting. I'm excited for this. Because, you know, normally I would think a build like this would just get run over by the Beastmen, but I'm quite eager to see if Xiphos can actually hold this. I guess a lot of it will come down to the execution here of the Beastmen player, Mr. Aneurysm Sauce. See if he's going to be able to pull things out. A lot of crazy changes going on YouTube lately. I don't know if you guys have been following it. They're, oh, one second here. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I'll get into that stuff later. So, the Beastmen are advancing here. Harpies... There's no Jack Droppers, but the Harpies should 100% be used just to Because the thing about Harpies is, if you try and stop them with halberds, halberds aren't so good against like infantry. Well, I mean, they're okay, but the Harpies are actually infantry sized, so they're going to be okay against like halberds. So you can engage Harpies against like deckhand mob halberds and do okay, but jumping them onto the gun line is going to be pretty solid. So Xiphos moving forward here, but the Raiders have some pretty choice targets for sure. Focusing down the Morngul Haunters is good, going after the gunnery mobs. You have a lot of options, and the Gore Herds will do okay, but there is some terror in Xiphos' army, which I think is quite good. Okay, here comes the first volley. So handgun shooting downtown, going after the Chaos Spawn. Definitely a very good choice. The Spawn will buzzsaw through this army very quickly. Plus, they're not going to run. They're going to hold quite firm. Now, where is he going with the Raiders? Mr. Sauce going to be opening up shop here. I wonder if he sees the Bloaty Boy. I don't think he sees it. So the first of the Spawn do get into the deckhand mobs and should be able to start shrekking that line. But here comes the Bloat. Oh, baby. There he goes. Going to be going into the edge of the formation. Xiphos with some sick Bloat micro here, pulling this bad boy back. And it looks like the Vampire Fleet Admiral is going to be dropping some zombie summons back here. Or maybe that's going to be the Manticore summon. So the Bloated Corpse looks to be engaging here, but there is a lot of friendly fire on Bloated Corpses, so he has to be careful not to nuke his own stuff. But so far, the Vampire Coast holding relatively firm. The Archers here for the Beastmen. Oh, man, that actually did some damage. Oh, but did that eat the summon from Worker? Oh, I think it did. Okay, that's interesting. So Harpies in the back have jumped on. Razorgore Herds have gotten around the back as well. So he can certainly pressure these guys. Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs going to be getting swamped pretty hard by Razorgore Herds. And Xiphos is going to be responding by sending in his halberds. But his backline's getting shreked pretty hard. And his front line's holding decently. He does, of course, have the Sirens who, you know, with the lack of magic damage, are going to be very tough to kill. And it's a pretty even fight so far. But the Spawn are doing a good job, and there's a couple full health group of Spawn, I mean, give or take. These ones have 11, these ones here have 12, and those Spawn are going to be quite tough to deal with. Harpy's going to be jumping onto this gun line, and honestly, this looks pretty good for the Beastmen in some ways. The back line, all the handguns are going down. Xiphos is doing a good job sweeping and kind of cleaning up here with his halberds and his Morngul's, but not before the damage is done. So these gunnery mobs are going down here. Looks like the Black Spot is going to be getting pressured by Harpies, and the other gunnery mobs with handguns, so it looks like he had 4 in total, are being focused on by Raiders. The zombie summons are doing a temporary shutdown to the Raiders, but once those guys get back online, they'll certainly be able to do some work. Gore Herds are coming back from route to re-engage in the front line, but the terror could be quite an issue for sure. So bounce power is very, very even. I would say slightly in the favor of the Beastmen, but again, Beastmen have so many summoned units on the battlefield that it's not really an accurate representation of the current state of the battle. Harpies in the back, swooping down, trying to kind of halt the Sirens and the deckhand mobs, it looks like, as some of the Razorgore Herds swooping back there as well. And the Raider Corps is now back online and shooting. But, you know, the Spawn are still going pretty strong. They haven't taken too much damage. Xiphos is going to be using, yeah, the bloated corpse meta is confirmed for sure. There's no question that it is now the most played and most powerful unit in the Vampire Coast roster. So, Morngul Haunter going to be surging into the back line. He needs to shut down this missile pressure. Ungor Raiders are like the scourge of the Vampire Coast. They're so damn good against the light armor just for how much they cost. So this one Morngul Haunter back here could potentially be isolated by something. I mean, I don't know. There's no Gorbel or true anti-large units to go after it. And here the Vampire Fleet Captain could form a bit of a Helm's Deep on top of some Sirens and Summons. It's really going to come down to like the entire Vampire Coast army dying, and then just having the 2 Haunters plus the Vampire Fleet Captain. And I guess maybe some Sirens who are chasing off some of those pigs there, but you know, even cheap missile pressure is pretty good against Morngul Haunters. They do have some missile resist, but their armor is very poor at 40, so Ungor Raiders can actually hurt them quite badly. So the Bray Shaman of Beast is going to be pulling back. He could actually go help and maybe attack that Morngul Haunter. It wouldn't be a bad idea. But for the most part, the Vampire Coast units here in the form of the deckhand mobs and the polearms are all going down rather quickly. Yeah, you can see the last of the handguns going to be crumbling here. Morker the Shadowgave is still here as well, and he's not going anywhere, especially with a bunch of spawn. And yeah, there's like a lot of spawn left. And these aren't summons. These are actual spawn units. On the other side, there's not too many left. But yeah, this Morngul Haunter could be in a little bit of trouble. Looks like the Bray Shaman of Beast is going to be going over there with some Harpies to try and kind of tie this guy down and get the kill, which is quite good. And you can see the Beastmen actually are pulling ahead on the Bounce of Power. And it could change slightly once his spawn unit goes, because this is a summon right here. These other 2 are actually natural summons, but this one is going to be disappearing. There are some Sirens on the other side who looked like they were over-chasing some piggies, but this Morngul Haunter getting isolated and separated is actually very, very unfortunate for the... whoa, what the hell is he doing there? He's like doing some Circus de Soleil there, just doing some backflips and stuff like that. But anyways, here, Morngul Haunter continuing to get focused. The Bray Shaman taking a serious slapping, though. He definitely does not want to lose his Shaman. Granted, he has no magic to use anyways. I would recommend, guys, if you are playing a Manticore summoning build, always bring a second spell, because usually if the game goes really long, you will have enough. Unless you're really trying to cut corners, but generally it's a good idea. So yeah, Xiphos realizing at this point, if he doesn't shut down the Raiders, he's going to lose the game. So he's going back here with his fleet captain and, you know, all of his troops and trying to shut down the Raiders, it looks like, but no, actually changing trajectory and going after the Beastcaster. But here comes just an angry, erect mob of spawn here, who will actually be able to hurt that Morngul Haunter pretty effectively. He has light armor. They hit very, very hard. I would probably actually send the spawn after the Morngul Haunter. So in the meantime, Sirens are breaking here. Just pure attrition and crumbling, wearing those guys down. And over here, we do have the other group of Sirens, which Harpies are going to be trying to do some damage to them. But yeah, it's going to be a little tricky for the Beastmen to deal with the Sirens. But for the most part, bounce power actually normalizing a little bit, which is quite crazy. Once Morker gets his pin claw over here, though, he should be able to potentially hurt this Haunter. Yeah, these spawn need to get over there. He needs to get those spawn and just hunt down the Morgul's. Morgul's are more meant versus infantry. They can do okay against big targets too. I mean, just their raw stat line isn't bad. But the Chaos Spawn need to get on it. They need to poison it. They need to assist Morker. Oh man, Zyphos able to get the snipe on the Bray Shaman. But the Bray Shaman might come back. Might shatter, actually. He's taking a lot of damage. But here comes the spawn. Focusing down the Vampire Fleetcaster is not a bad idea, but I would definitely maybe just put like Morker on him and then keep the spawn going after this guy. The spawn will hit very, very hard here. So in the meantime, we do have a summon. Oh, I actually thought this was a summon because they were all like ghostly looking. But the other Morngul Hunter is going to be fighting some Baconators. Raiders are coming back online as well. And yeah, this is a really, really close game. Oh no, don't let that thing escape. Go after it with your spawn. The spawn are faster, actually, I think, when they have the poison applied. Yeah, so if the spawn actually poisoned this thing, they keep it at the same speed. But it looks like he's going to be trying to goon the Lord instead, going after the Vampire Fleet Admiral, who's a lot slower. So there's certainly some validity to that. But the issue being is that these guys are going to be able to kind of live a little bit more free here. But I guess there's just a lot of gore herds and things like that, which actually do some decent damage. But going after the Armored Crab it's a much tougher kill. Although it does get rid of Invocation and any more summons if you're able to break this guy. But see, the spawner, like, I would definitely use the spawn to go after them. I think that is a big mistake that may cost them the game. Because if the spawn had stuck on the Morngul Haunter, I think they could have been able to kill it. Now, I wonder about the Winds of Magic situation for Zyphos. He has the Wand of Jet, so he's getting some Winds of Magic right now. So there could potentially be a wild Winds of Magic. I don't know. We'll see. Morngul Haunter and Sirens coming in. That is a spooky, terror-causing squad. Thankfully, though, for the Beastmen, they have a ton of spawn. Archers shooting in. And Raiders are coming back on several fronts. These ones are back as well. So if Mr. Sauce is able to shoot down the Morngul Haunters, that would probably seal the deal. And you can actually see the bounce power is reflecting that. The bounce power is naturally in the favor of Beastmen. There's no false inflations, nothing else like that. So here comes the run. These Ungor Raiders going to be scurrying away as the Goreherds with shields surge in. And Goreherds might have their Primal Fury active, so they should be immune to Psychology temporarily. But yeah, just go for that Morngul Haunter for sure. Just put some cheap Raiders or other chaff maybe on the Vampire Fleet Admiral. But yeah, the spawn should 100% be attacking that Haunter. They hit really hard against that light armor. So here they come. Spawn piling in. This Morngul Haunter is crumbling down. It looks like one group of spawn is going to be going after this Vampire, which is good because you can only get so many models on something, so it's not a bad idea to do that. And it looks like the Caster is back as well. This is a tense game. Man, really well played to both players here. It's quite a cockfight. So the Vampire Fleet Admiral is going to be fleeing from the spawn, but like I said, the poison, it can slow it down. But it looks like he's not poisoned right now. Maybe the spawn just not getting the attacks they want. The one thing Zyphos has going for him is the Terror route, but with all these spawn, like even if the rest of the Beast route, he's still going to have to deal with those. And obviously the better way to deal with Sirens in this situation, since you don't have magic damage, it's just to surround them basically. I feel like this is just such a hard matchup for Vampire Coast. I'd like to see some like good showcases of how to deal with the Beastmen. So, battle's still underway here, though. Zyphos getting some nice terror routes. You can see Ungor Raiders getting broken off, the other guys getting routed off. But as long as these Raiders keep shooting in, they should be able to deal with the Morngul Haunters. But the constant healing from the Haunters, who do have the hunger, is very, very strong. And a nice summon going down, that's what it was. So it looks like there was a Deckhand Mob summon, which is giving some solid buffering. And this, the Morngul Haunters, the way they move is like, it just conjures up the Palpatine, I'm too weak, help me, I can't escape. And then they just like spring and shoot lightning at you because they're not actually weak. But here, the Sirens here, critical binding, but still holding firm. It looks like the Vampire Fleet Admiral was able to heal up pretty well with the hunger. Oh my god, if Zyphos pulled this out, that would be pretty insane. I mean, the Beastmen have been in a pretty commanding position for quite some time. But here comes the Morngul Haunter. One of them is going to be chasing down these Raiders, which is a very good play. Unfortunately, there's no crossfire. I mean, blob fights are very, very good for the Vampires here, for sure. Call of Violence is active. It looks like this Morngul Haunter might be at the end of the road. He's negative 38 right now. He's crumbling pretty quick. Oh man, but another Invocation of Nehek is huge here. Huge. So the summon's gone. There's no more supporting Deckhand mobs on the ground. The Sirens are crumbling as well. Vampires are crumbling across the board. But there's still 6 spawn here and 4 spawn here, and Morker is going to be very tough to remove. So even though the balance of power is coming back in the favor of the Vampire Coast, it's going to be hard to break off those spawn, plus Morker. This Morngul Haunter is going down. The other one's taking some pretty steady missile fire, though ammunition is running very, very sparse here. And these guys just, they got too close. They got terrified by the Sirens, man. That's an unfortunate situation there. So these Sirens are crumbling. They're at -9. That Haunter is coming back in. Oh my god. How is this game going to go? This is so close. This is so close. Oh my goodness. So Morker the Shadowcave is afflicted by the Von Horstmann's Speculum here. So his melee defense and melee attack and all those different stats are substantially lowered. Are the Spawn going to be able to endure? It's a scary situation. The Sirens aren't crumbling anymore. Those ladies are holding on quite well. So there's 2 Spawn here. And it looks like the other group, there's, how many are here? So we got 2 here, and then the other group of Spawn, there's only 1. Some Raiders coming in, which is actually quite big, because the rear charge will apply the penalty and put the Sirens at negative crumbling leadership. So those guys charging in is quite clutch. Man, this has been an insane game. This has been an insane game. So currently we have Xiphos on the Vampire Coast facing off against Mr. Aneurysm Saucier, who's on the Beastman. And you can see the Morgul Hunter here is very low himself. Xiphos sending the Sirens over here is a good play to try and get a Shatter or a Terror out on these guys. They're coming in. Here comes the Vampire Fleet Admiral. If you had a pistol, you could actually do some pretty good kiting here. I actually think the pistol variant is very, very strong, but I don't know. You guys think Vampire Coast has it? Dude, do you know how hard Morker is to kill? Morker takes like a year to kill. With a couple spawns supporting him? I don't know. Sirens are crumbling. They're at negative 44. Should be dissipating here in a second. And I don't know, guys. I think the Beastmen are going to get this. Sorry about that squeaking sound. I was just moving my keyboard here. You guys still think Vampire Coast has this? I don't know, guys. I think the Beastmen are winning. Like, Morker is so hard to kill. He's, like, just as durable as any of these vampires. And, guys, there's no way. It's over now. The Morgul Hunter here is crumbling. The Beast Herd. He's like, Anakin, I can't. I'm too weak. He's just crawling away. Oh, God. Look at him go. Yeah, he's done for. 27, and down he goes. Slapping a Beastman on the way out. Because Morker could solo this vampire, like, all day. So, like, the fact that Morker is nowhere near his healing cap, the vampire is, like, on his last legs here, is enough to spell doom. But Xiphos going to stay in it. I mean, okay. So maybe if Xiphos has another summon, but I don't think so. That's going to be army losses. And the Beast People pull out the victory. Oh my God, what a game. What a game. So back and forth on today's stream. And there we have it. Mr. Sauce pulling out a wild Beastman victory against Xiphos and his Vampire Coast. That is crazy. Morker just... and the Spawn going ham. That was a great game. We got to see a Bloody Boy. Well played to both players. I feel like that matchup's really freaking hard for Vampire Coast. All right, so the current leader is Xiphos with 3. Now we update this. We'll put the sauce. We're just going to put the sauce in all caps for that glorious Beastman victory. All right, and then he's got 1. So next up, we have Undertaker. So Undertaker, if you're in Discord, you're watching. It's your turn, my friend. Undertaker. GG, well played. Yeah, I think less guns for sure. It's so hard to protect a gun line against Beastmen, and we saw that. The gun line just got eviscerated. So we'll do... Gold is like such a wretched map. Oh, Sword of Torgald's a fun one. That's what happens when I play Vampire Coast vs. Beastmen. If Xiphos hadn't brought in a heck, he'd have won, says Wicked D. Oh my God. Wookiee is a Chaos Spawn. There's been some really good matches across the board today. Well, it's kind of good that Coast has some bad matchups. They were pretty oppressive for quite some time. So now we have Grom Brindle, a.k.a. The Undertaker, playing against Mr. Sauce here. So Sauce... Aneurysm Sauce says, my heart is pounding out of my chest. Well played. Pick and double ban for Sauce. And we're on Sword of Torgald. Yeah, Xiphos, man. I honestly, like... every time I play Vampire Coast against Beastmen, no matter if I think I'm a better player than my opponent, I just like end up losing it. It's a hard one, man. It's a hard one. But yeah, I think the key is not your gun line was too big. It's too hard to protect. I think going like more of a defensive like blob of like big monsters, like with some leadership bombs and some deck droppers maybe to snipe is better. I don't know. It's hard. Yeah, Coast were really disgusting when they first came out. Depth Guard are really good actually because they can buzzsaw through the infantry. Yeah, Crabs are probably better. Crabs, Depth Guard, Luther Harkin are all better choices, I think. Going Dwarves. So, the Sauce is going with Dwarves. And he's banning a Vampire Coast and Chaos. And Grom Brindle is going to pick the Von Karsteins, looks like. Counts Grom. you have to choose another fantasy setting for Total War, what would it be? Oh man, I mean, I know Lord of the Rings would be kind of similar in some ways, but I would like to see Lord of the Rings, just because like I'm so in love with Lord of the Rings that it would be pretty rich. Like imagine fighting the Battle of Helm's Deep, you know, like with actual like a game designed around it. Game of Thrones would be fun, I think. Like all the houses, I feel like the campaign would be really good. The battles might not be that interesting, but yeah. God, Lord of the Rings, you could have Mordor. You could have Uruk-hai as like a sub faction, or I mean Isengard. You could have Gondor, Rohan. You could have the Haradrim. The Mountain Men could be like a Haggard sub faction. Like, oh my god. Remember when Depth Guard could solo a mammoth? Yeah, I do. I know, Zyphos, the Bloated Corpse is a hard one to make work. The Bloaty Boy, I think... The Bloaty Boy got shot. What happened, Zyphos, is the Bloaty Boy got shot, and then he got low enough that he triggered Morkur's nuke. So basically, he baited out Morkur's summon, which I guess isn't the worst fate in the world for the Bloaty Boy. So we got Dwarves versus Skaven on Sword of Torgald. Ready, up, and good. Yeah, Zyphos is currently up. Oh, I love Battle for Middle-earth. Oh, that game was awesome. I thought about playing it on the channel, actually. So currently, Zyphos has 3. There is a chance for a couple people to catch him. So what we'll do is we will have Undertaker, Samurai Warrior, Wicked. And then the last person on the list who's Wicked D can basically play till he loses. To try and catch. All right. I haven't Grant Peterson, no. I haven't seen that. I was actually talking to Jackie Fish on Discord the other day. He's getting into 40k, so we were chatting about some stuff. Game of Thrones would give you a bonus for putting your trebuchets in front of your infantry and letting the opponent charge them. Yes, you have to let the opponent charge them though. You can't surge forward to protect them, and you also have to get all your cavalry units and send them into their hard counters. That's like the Muslim Game of Thrones tactics 101. Oh my god, if we got Battle for Middle-earth 2, oh god, not 2, but basically the next rendition of that game, whatever they want to call it, I would have such a hard-on. But the thing is like, I have a feeling if Battle for Middle-earth ever gets remade, it's going to be remade by like EA or someone who's just going to do a shit job with it, you know? Yeah, I feel like Bloaty Boy should have like a higher HP pool, and they should be able to detonate on your go, like a button. I agree with that. My queen. Jon Snow. Yeah, the Last Alliance, the Shogun 2 mod looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Alrighty, lad. Oh, doing some stretches. We're at the 2.5 hour mark, guys. Pretty good stream so far. It's been fun. I'm going to sit back while we load in and do some stretches, so bear with me, guys. Battle for Middle-earth. Oh god, I'd love that. There were some really OP strategies back in the day. I remember that game had a lot of like cheesy shit you could do, but it was so fun. Oh my god. Like getting to use like Gandalf and Sauron coming in. Oh, it was so good. So good. Sorry guys, I'm not looking at the chat right now. I'm stretching away so I can't see. My apologies. Now I know what my shoulder hurts, that torn labrum. Yeah, Zypho says there's a team working on a remaster for Battle for Middle-earth 1, which I would definitely play. You guys want to see Battle for Middle-earth Reforged is what it's called? Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I remember watching a trailer. Isn't that a ways off? I think just giving Bloaty Boys like a fair amount of HP and then giving them a detonate feature would make them better. Because then it's like a threat you can kind of like, your opponents can't bait out. Tom Bombadil, the original Cheese Lord. Oh, man. Isn't that what you play, Zardar? You do campaigns with that, don't you? I don't know. Giving missile resist to Bloaty Boys doesn't make that much sense from like a... You know, because like, look at them. Like, you think they would have any resistance to missiles? If anything, they're volatile things which would blow up when focused. I mean, I think you just give them some HP and an auto-detonate. Battle for Middle Earth 2 stream 1. Yeah, I don't know. Well, players are loading in here. Hopefully no one disconnected. Yeah, and guys, if you're enjoying the stream, do drop a like. I don't like asking for it, but it does help from a business perspective. Lets YouTube know that people actually enjoy. And then new people can find it easier. So do drop a like. Would appreciate it. Let's see if we can get over 500. We've had, you know, for the most part, 900, 1,000 people this whole time. Yeah, a large lad could be thicker. Like, give him, like, you know, 1,500 HP or something, right? And you actually have to, like, take him out to get him to pop. Or the detonate button. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe when you give him an attack order, he, like, blows up. There's a multitude of ways you could do it. Come on! No disconnect! There was no lag when we joined in, so one of the players might have just crashed. Let me go ahead and see in the Discord. Undertaker, maybe. I don't play Kill Team, no, I mainly play regular 40k. Yeah, Kill Team's cool though, it's fun. I just prefer the grand battles, like, where there's more strategy, because Kill Team's kind of like, you know, just a couple of units. Yeah, the Bloody Boy could be Grimgore. Oh no, it looks like we're good. Just get it? That's what he says. Yeah, looks like we are loading in, so. No Windows updater, stop it. Hey, no worries, no worries. Hey, I mean, if people want to dislike, it's up to them. It is what it is. It's fair play. You know, if you're not enjoying it, then yeah. Ask for likes, get 3 dislikes instantly. Yeah, I know. It's a thing I don't like doing for sure. But the sad part is YouTube's kind of a gamey system. You know, if you don't like advocate for those type of things, like you're just gonna fall behind the wayside. It's a pretty treacherous landscape, you know. There's constantly like new terms of service and issues and ugh, God, demonetization, all kinds of crap. Come on. We need a bloated corpse legendary lord? That'd be interesting. Yeah, Kill Team's a good learning curve for sure. Although I personally think, like, if you want to teach someone the game, just play like a 500-point game of regular 40k. I want someone to mod a bloated corpse with the refuse to die trait just to see what happens. I think Grimgore should have an option to explode, yeah. Heroes of Might Magic Total War based on Heroes 3, of course. Oh, that'd be sweet. Just the Dark Lord. Sandra would basically just be Nagash, right? Yeah. Well, some weird loading going on here. Perhaps we should just restart. Maybe Undertaker crashed? Because it seems like Mr. Sauce is chatting with me in Discord, but Undertaker hasn't said anything, so. So, let's, if he sees this. Yeah, he started to load in is what we were saying. And then it seems like he like kind of crashed again or something. So we could reboot the game. We'll give it another like 30 seconds. And then if it's still an issue, we'll, yeah, I'll probably watch that Mandalorian show. Yeah. I've always wanted a Civ-style game with Total War combat. Yeah. Are you allowed to say Tau? Yes, you can talk about Tau. King of the Hill, I usually go like 2.5, 3 hours in that ballpark, yeah. So we're getting towards the tail end of it. I believe there is a guy in Heroes 3, Hom 3, called Nagash. I mean, I'm sorry, YouTube is great. Don't strike me down. All right. Yeah, and they didn't have it, like, neither of these guys lag in my experience, so. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Kill Team and 500 points are a solid start. I agree. It's just in Kill Team, the rules are different. So, oh, wow. After all that, he actually loaded in? No way. What? Must have a potato computer of the century. Let's see. Did we actually load into that? Oh my god. That is crazy. That's like the longest load I've actually had not crash. Well, let's see if Grombrindle's actually here. Is he moving anything? He's like not responding in Discord. You here? Okay, he's here. Wow. I can't believe he actually loaded in. And don't worry, guys, I'll put a timestamp on that for anyone watching back after the fact. Oh, yeah. I can't believe he actually loaded. That's insane. Well, thank you guys for staying the course. I know we've had some technical issues, but it's the nature of the beast in Total War Warhammer, unfortunately. It's not like a polished multiplayer game where you have, like, you know, servers that handle all the drama and things like that, so... He must have alt-tabbed, do you think? Reginald? Yeah, it could have been. What would be the starting factions? Space Marines, Chaos, Necrons, Tyranids. I feel like you have to have Eldar if you were to do like a 40k game. Vexor, you didn't have too many problems adapting through Kill Team. That's good. That's good, man. Yeah, Kill Team's a fun game. I've watched people play it. I know the basic rules. It seems fun. But what allures me about 40k is like the grand battles for sure. AOL still going hard. I don't think it's his internet because he's not lagging. I think it's his computer was struggling to load in. All right, guys. So now for the armies, let's take a look at the Dwarven force. So for the dwarves and Mr. Sauce here, who is the current king of the hill, he's got a front line of miners with blasting charges. Secondary line's going to be rangers across the board, which are good against rat ogres, good against Skaven gun lines. Into the back, he's got more miners. Now here in the deep reserve, he does have some slayers, a runesmith. Oh no. Oh no. Rune Lord, Runesmith, Slayers, Norgrimlings, Ironbreakers, and Ironbreakers. So he does have some elite troops in the back for sure. Hopefully the game doesn't like chop the whole time. But okay, it looks like it's coming in and out of lagging, but it should be playable hopefully. Now for the forces of Grombrindle, he's got Skaven slaves across the entire front line. A little bit of awkward positioning here for his Jezzails. He actually has 4 Jezzails in total, which are going to get shreked by the Rangers. I think like Doomflayers and Wheels and things like that are a little bit better here, but yeah, the Jezzails need to scoot back, but maybe the Vanguard caught him off guard here. So he does have Skrulk. As far as infantry goes, he's got like Clan Rats and stuff like that. He really has like all of the marbles in this army on the Jezzails, who are kind of out of position. And the Rangers started in range of Jezzails, therefore negating their advantage of their range. And you can see the Jezzails are shooting downtown, actually trying to snipe the Dwarf Lord, it looks like. Yeah, they're going after the Rune Lord, but like, they're going to be taking such damage. I think at this point, if Grombrindle wants a chance, he's got to fall back with these Warplock Jezzails. He has to like get up in the hills and just like hide them back here and, you know, punish the dwarves with his distance. Like getting in this position, he's just going to get wrecked. Like it's going to be a pretty quick game here. He is getting some decent sniping on the Rune Lord, but Rune Lords are tanky. And I don't know if he has the ward save, but he should probably pop it. He's going really all in on killing this Dwarf Lord, but like he has absolutely nothing in his army that can kill these Ironbreakers. Like, there's not much here that can deal with that. So some rat summons are going down from Skrulk as well. He's dropping some rat boys, some clan rats here in the front to kind of pin down some of the rangers. But the rangers have ranged far and ranged fast, and the Dawi special forces have finished off the Warplock Jezzails, at least on the top side. These ones were able to get back, and they're still doing a good job. And the Dwarf Lord is getting very low, but it's like Rune Lords aren't like super valuable, so losing that wouldn't be the end of the world. Here come the Slayers, charging here into the Skaven slaves. But the Miners have actually been holding really well. It's like one of the few matchups in which Miners are actually going to be winning some infantry fights is against Skaven. So yeah, the Rats are pulling back their snipers now, which is going to give them a fighting chance for sure. But as the Dwarves encroach and their vice grip closes around the necks of these Skaven when the Ironbreakers get into combat, that's going to be tricky. However, you can see here that Grombrindle does actually have the Dwarf Thing Menace that I missed earlier in my analysis. It must have been over in the tree somewhere, but the Dwarf Thing Menace has come into the tree line here, or from the tree line, and is now getting into the Dwarven back line. So now that the Skaven have gotten their gun lines here, and they're away from the Rangers, there's now a chance that the Skaven might be able to pull this game out. The Warplock Jezzails, of course, getting the Dwarf Lord very low, and the Dwarf Thing Menace in the backline causing problems is going to be very tricky. I didn't see the Dwarf Thing Menace. If I had known he had that, I would, assume he had more answers for Ironbreakers and things like that. But so over here we do have Lord Skrulk. He's going fisticuffs with the Runesmith, but the sniping from the Jezzails doing a ton of work, and it looks like the Rats might be getting their way back in the game somehow. You can actually see that the breaking of the Jezzails actually did them a favor because they ran away from the Rangers, and now they're going to be shooting quite happily And yeah, it's a very, very tense situation for the dwarves, as the Dwarfling Menace, you know, living up to its name here, running over a couple of dwarves, is in the back line and should be able to hammer down these dwarves. So yeah, the Jezzails are really tearing up the dwarven leadership now. And I've always thought that Skaven was a pretty hard matchup for the dwarves in general, but the, you know, the advent of weapons teams and things like that certainly made it a little bit trickier. So these runesmiths here getting focused pretty hard. The Rune Lord, I think, is dead, so all the leadership here for the dwarves is pretty much out of the picture. Skrulk is quite beat up as well, and some Rangers have come back online. So the Rangers, if they can put some pressure onto the Warplock Jezzails, maybe. But I don't know, it looks like the Skaven, if they can keep Skrulk alive and keep those Jezzails happy and make sure the Dwarfling Menace is just hammering into the back line, while the Slayers are trapped in the front. Like, Slayers are here fighting in the front line, where they need to pretty much be dealing with the Dwarfling Menace. Oh man, the Jezzail's getting a good arc of fire, actually, finally shooting at the Slayers, but, you know, that initial deployment almost cost them the battle, for sure. Because the Skaven took so much damage on their gun teams, the Dwarves were certainly in a state of I would say, yeah, dominant position, but not anymore. So some Slayers here just getting dragged down by a horde of rats. Pretty much their worst situation for them, fighting against chaff. They need to be fighting against good threats here. Dwarfling Menace in the back, just running over these Rangers right here, and the other Rangers are just tar-pitted by a bunch of rats. You can see here there's a bunch of the Storm Vermin with shields. Yeah, they're easily going to be able to defeat those Dwarfing Rangers. And that's pretty much game. Like, I think the Skaven ended up winning it, which is pretty crazy, depending on, you know, that deployment was really hard in the beginning. Their Jezzails got hammered. He still was able to snipe the Lords pretty effectively, and when the Dwarfling Menace did emerge and get into the back line, that was, it's so hard for the Dwarves. It really is. It's winnable, for sure, but it's hard. And that's going to be the game, going to Grombrindle, betraying his own dwarf people, it would appear. A couple Slayers still fighting here and there, but that's going to be army losses, and now it's mainly just Slayers fighting. So Grombrindle's going to be taking the throne here. Is he going to be able to climb his way through and, you know, win the King of the Hill? He's got to catch up to the Dark Lord Xiphos here, who currently has 3 wins. We'll see if it's possible. We'll see if it's possible. And perhaps if he ties Xiphos with the last game, we'll see how it goes. They could just like duel for the last spot or something. That would be kind of fun. All right. So there you have it. Grombrindle taking it, betraying his people. But, you know, it's a good sniper play for sure. I mean, the deployment was a little bit gamey. I would have been further back, because dwarves do sometimes vanguard like that, but he still was able to make it work. And man, 120 kills on those Storm Vermin. That's nasty. So let's update the scoreboard. Let's see if he can avenge the grudge that he's now made on himself by playing dwarves next game. So next on the list we have Satisfy the Grudge. They've wronged us. Samurai Warrior. Let's get you on here, man. Oh, connection was lost to Steam. Is that what happened? Okay, well. Okay, so let's get Grombrindle back in here, and then we'll get the... Oh, is Steam just down? Is today Tuesday? Ah, shit. Damn it, Steam. Oh, man. Jezzails do have silver shields, too, but I mean, they're lightly armed. I think Jezzails have like 40 armor, or do they have more? Yeah, I guess the shields played a pretty big factor there, so... All right, so Steam, is it coming back? Okay, I think we're back online. Yeah, Steam updates on Tuesdays, so it should be back on in a second. It usually is only for a couple minutes, and then it comes back. We'll see what happens. Wretched Steam? Curse the Baggins? See if it's back up now. Okay, looks like we're reconnected. Okay, we're good. Steam's back up. It's only... Thankfully, it wasn't during the game, so let's get Grombrindle. And then we have Samurai Warrior. We're good. That's a Grudgeon! And Samurai Warrior. Let's get you guys in the lobby. Yeah, we're good now. Steam, it usually just does that once on Tuesdays. I always remember I usually don't stream on Tuesdays because of that, but for me, Steam updates on Tuesdays. It does that trollish nonsense. All right, so let me go ahead and tag these guys in Discord. Well, we're back online, it looks like. So Grombrindle's back in here. And we'll go to the... Let's do a weird map. Let's do like the Amber Bow or something. See what happens. The Samurai Warrior cometh, and then after that we have Wicked D. Great, we're in. You know, this map is pretty silly. Okay, so there's no chat. So I can't talk to them. That's lovely. Let's just do a regular map. Because the deployment's really, really boxy in there. Glacial Lake's a fun one. Although Glacial Lake really encourages like degenerate dwarf camping. We'll do Alpine Ridge. Yeah, Alpine Ridge. CL. All right, you pick and double ban. I have to message them in Discord. Chat's busted for some godforsaken reason. No, I never played More Time Tabletop. Steam has wronged us. They have wronged us. Angry dwarves are just the best, just foaming at the mouth with anger. You know, I never played the early Dawn of War games. It's one of my regrets because I loved RTS games growing up. That was pretty fun. I was a big StarCraft, Warcraft guy. Didn't really get into Warhammer until Total War, really. Okay, so he's going to pick dwarves and banning high elves and dark elves. Pick those armies. Okay, so Grombrindle's going to be on dwarves, avenging his people. And from his own grudge. And we'll see what Samurai Warrior picks. So he cannot pick dark elves, and he cannot pick... what was the other one? Dark elves and high elves? Okay, so he just doesn't want to deal with elves. That's a Trojan. Or Blood Bowl. I'd be down for Blood Bowl someday. The Samurai Warrior cometh. Hey, take care, Space Emperor. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. Alright. I would love to play like Dawn of War in a lot of older games, but the thing is, it's like I have to be really choosy with what I'm doing because of my GIMP pause. implying that the proud Dawi foam at the mouth like rabid animals is an insult. That belongs in the great book. Oh man. Yeah. You guys want Dawn of War 3? I'm just joking. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, my friends. Satisfy the grudge. They've wronged us. So currently the holder here is Xiphos with 3. Grombrindle's ready. Samurai Warrior has picked with Chaos. I think Chaos is pretty good against dwarves. Great AP infantry and pretty good chariot play, good monstrous play if they want to play that angle. There's a lot of ways they can do it. Oh, that's cool, Michael. Yeah, I used to play a lot of Blood Bowl. I took a break just because like my hand could only handle so much stuff, but someday I'll get back into it. Probably after I get my surgery and stuff. We'll go hard from there. So Samurai Warrior still picking. I would imagine he's just going to go with like some Chaos Warriors with great weapons and some Marauders on the flanks to pressure the back line. Chariots. I mean, you can go with Golek too if you want to do like a delayed engagement. Because I think Grombrindle's going to have like a box of Doom. He usually, if memory serves, he likes to play with a lot of Ironbreakers and like elite troops. I would take a Luke Skywalker hand for sure. As long as it could click the mouse. Slayers foam at the mouth when they see goblins. Yeah, probably. What's your question, Vadim? Did I miss your question? Let me scroll up. It's not intentional, I can assure you. Go ahead and ask your question again, man. I'll try and pay attention and see this. I think Chaos could have a bit of an edge. Yeah, Chaos. I think Chaos is in the history lesson. I think Chaos was favored in this matchup. Definitely favored. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Grombrindle loads in quicker this time. I'm gonna go get some water real quick. Hydrate. Hydrate, homies, assemble. News team, assemble. Oh, give me that sweet, sweet water. Okay, so Vadim says, think a World War I Total War game would work? Yeah, I think it would be fine. It would be interesting, World War I. Yeah. I think it could work. I don't think it's something they'll do, just because I think the advent of like the success of fantasy and stuff like that. But I'm sure it would work fine, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have meme tanks, right? Sage, probably in sometime in December. Man, that's pretty intense, Michael. That's a lot of games being casted. Why did they make Norska as a pro-Chaos faction? Well, Norska is... My basic understanding of the lore is that Norska is like up in the far north, right? Like basically like neighbors with the Chaos Wastes, and Chaos like has a pretty strong prevalence in terms of Winds of Magic, like in the northern realms. So they kind of get affected by that. Yeah. And, you know, just the kind of their culture and like the way they live anyways is pretty aggressive and harsh. So it's like more kind of a, you know, probably aligned with the style that Chaos likes to roll with. Yeah. So, yeah, Gromriddle seems to take a while to load in, but once he gets in, it seems like he's fine, so... Tis the Undertaker. Yeah, it's fine. We're patient here. We're all friends. We could just chat and hang out, and again, for anyone watching back, there'll be some glorious timestamps. Cartoon Empire. Isn't that the quote from Kolek in the opening cinematic? Norska is a pro-Chaos faction, yeah. Yeah. It seems so to me. Extra angry Vikings, I suppose so. Famir was the Chaos chosen race, but then they found humans better. Is that actually true? You could be playing on like a laptop or something, but you know, the battles are smooth enough, so it's all good. Norska worships most of the Chaos Gods just under different names. Yeah, like the Crow and the Raven and different things like that. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed Blood Bowl back in the day. Like, I loved playing with my Haggard Nurgle team. Like, I had a big beast of Nurgle, and you know, the Warriors. Nurgle Warriors are cool with the foul presence, or the I forget what it's called. It like basically makes passing harder near them and stuff. It's really fun. I like the Chaos factions, just going with like claws and block on all your characters. Yeah. At this point, you can have your SST. Yeah, Anthony, it's not for a while. I have my appointment on Thursday to schedule it, so we'll do it to it. Well, but I'm excited, though. It's good to make progress, you know, because I've been dealing with these problems for like friggin' 9 years, 10 years almost, so I'm like, enough's enough. I've had it with these snakes. Because then I can start making progress. All right, they're in. Oh, I knew it. I knew he was going to do this. He loves these boxy builds with like gyrocopters and... Oh, the High King Thorgrim. All right, guys, so for the dwarf build, we have High King Thorgrim, which basically what he's going to do is he's going to form a box of doom with the dwarves. He has Iron Breakers, which he forms just like the most Haggard box. Oh my god, he's got the Peak Gate Guard, he's got Grumbling Guard for the Vigor, and Thorgrim gives him all melee attack and better leadership, and the Thane sits here as well, and just turtles. Oh my god, this is so trollish. And he does have the Ironbeard's Ring to give weakness to fire damage. That's actually a pretty cool combo. If you guys look at this, the Thane, I didn't even know this. He has an item called Ironbeard's Ring, which gives 22% fire weakness to nearby troops or enemies. So you do that, and the gyrocopters all do fire damage. That's actually a really cool combo. Wow. So a nice little glorious Dawi box, and on top of that, he's got gyrocopters with brimstone guns to kill chariots and monsters, which is pretty hilarious. Now for the Warriors of Chaos, they have a bunch of Chaos Marauders with great weapons. They have Aspiring Champions, which is an interesting pick. And he's got a Hell Cannon, which would... Okay, if Chaos had a way to deal with this Air Force, his Hell Cannon would just win the game. Like, if he had a couple Marauder Horsemen, like, or a Manticore, like, the game would be over. The Hell Cannon would annihilate the Dwarves, but he doesn't. He's just, like, super infantry heavy. He does also have Warp Chicken with Final Transmutation, which will be really good it'll be incredibly solid against a box. And on the flanks, I think he has like some poison hounds and some hounds on the far side as well. But yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I'll get back to when Anna and I move. I'll set up the face cam again. Oh my god, this is such a meme. So the Hell Cannon is like, I like this pick, especially on this map, because Dwarven Cannons don't have the same line of sight to snipe it, but the Gyrocopters are going to go straight fly to the Valkyrie on this thing. So Chaos is instantly going to lose his Hell Cannon. The Royal Dawi Air Force gives no shits about this Hell Cannon, which is, I believe, a large entity, actually. Yeah, it says infantry size, but pretty sure. Yeah, the Hell Cannon gets like one shot off. Hopefully, for his sake, it hits some Iron Breakers. Oh, it looks like it went after a character. Oh, the Hell Cannon's like, Anakin, I'm too weak. Help me. So yeah, against dwarves, you typically always want to bring like a Manticore or a couple Marauder Horsemen just to keep them honest. Otherwise, this is going to happen. Granted, Warp Chicken has really good missile resist, so he's going to take a while to kill, but... Oh my god, is he using a Final Transmutation? No, don't do that! So he did it. It hits all of them, but, you know, the dwarves are going to scatter to the winds. I mean, it did okay damage, but not worth it, that's for sure. Was it overcasted? I don't think it was. But yeah, you want to save that for the box. So the dogs are just like, well, you know, we have nothing to chew on here. So basically... what he needs to do with these Warhounds is get them around the back and just wait, and let's see what he's saying. So, saying good luck, have fun, yeah. They're just being good sports. Searing Doom going to be going down from the chicken, which is going to make contact with the Iron Breakers. That was a good cast. Did some okay damage. I did about 300-400 damage there. So the Warriors of Chaos just need to move in now. He's going to attack with the Hounds. Maybe looking... I mean, there's literally no weak spots in this army. You always have to respect the Gyrocopters. If you don't, they're just going to trundle all over your forces. And my favorite thing about this Dwarf army is the Thane with the ring combo. Like, I just learned something new today. Like, I did not even know that existed. So Warp Chicken's getting pounded as well. it's pretty funny. Yeah, the Warp Chicken's getting pounded by the Royal Dawi Air Force, who still have their bombs also. The Doggos have engaged. It's just like desperation mode here. He's just like, he's trying to bait out the blasting charges with the dogs. I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. And here comes the Chicken. I mean, it's not over. Chaos has a ton of great weapon infantry, but it's going to be hard. Peak Gate Guard are going to definitely hammer time it. He needs to save up Winds of Magic, the Samurai Warrior, and then he needs to get a huge Final Transmutation just to hit like all these value units. That's like one way he could get back in this game, for sure. No, Final Transmutation does not need to be overcast to get the AoE. It just does basically more damage. So Warp Chicken coming in, dropping his fat drumstick here on top of the Iron Breakers. The frontline fighting's underway. The High King Thorgrim leading the Dwarven people back to their former days of glory here. But, you know, Warp Chicken's a tough one to land. He's a hard boy to focus down. Balance Power is clearly in the favor of the Dwarves here, as the Chaos Warriors are finally reaching the formation. They're just, like, taking turns. These Chaos Marauders are like, all right, it's your turn. Let's get in there. Let's get those guys in there. The front group, Norgrimlings have taken some damage. Plague of Rust is certainly going to make them a little bit squishier, but not going to be that big of a game changer. They still have 95 armor. Yeah, Fried Chicken is back on the menu, for sure. But the Gyrocopters are using a ton of their ammo against the Chicken, which has really good missile resist. So, I mean, there is that going for him, and it's unbreakable as well. So Blasting Charges just saturating these Chaos Warriors as the Peak Gate Guard just run forward through the flames, and they're going to be giving the dirty hammer time to these guys. Oh my god. Yeah, Chaos Warriors here just getting shreked horribly. So Chaos basically just in a big haggard blob at this point. Some chariots or something would have been good, and like some sort of air pressure. Yeah, just not having anything, just letting the gyros sit and shoot the entire time. Gyrocopters can throw the bombs in combat. If you put them in guard mode and give them a ranged attack order, they'll throw their bombs, which is quite cool. So the Peak Gate Guard here hammering down these Chaos Warriors. Oh, nice bombing runs going on. Even the Chaos Dwarves coming to fight their cousins here. Some Chaos Warriors in the distance are rallying, but like Thorgrim is a beast. He is really hard to kill. And plus he's giving the buffs to all these nearby dwarves, giving them pretty good melee attack at 47. Like, that's almost like chosen level melee attack on Norgrimling's end. And it seems like Chaos is just being bombarded, and High King Thorgrim just atop his throne of skulls, just sitting here and, you know, doing his thing. The grudge has been satisfied. The foul Chaos looked to be on the ropes here. Granted, the Bounce Fire is kind of a... Oh man, Chicken's in trouble. He's got 640 HP. Is he going to get that Final Transmutation? That's like the only thing I think that could maybe give him a fighting chance. He uses a Plague of Rust instead. He probably thinks he's not going to have time, and he doesn't. So Fried Chicken's back on the menu, boys. The drumsticks have officially been cooked by these Dwarven Blasting Charges. So they take out the chicken, and they cook it with the Blasting Charges as it goes. And yeah, the gyros are about out of ammo, or at least a couple of them are, but there's just no way Chaos is going to be able to deal with this. There's still like 63 Iron Breakers here, 75 Iron Breakers in the back. Peak Gate Guard are just going balls deep. Those guys have 138 kills. It's just absolute madhouse. And that's going to be army losses. So the only ones fighting are the Chaos Dwarf. So guys, you get the Chaos Dwarf just being cleaved by their superior kin here, just trying to headbutt. Just all shirtless and angry. Hiking Thorgrim raising the axe. A resounding victory. So yeah, you always got to respect the Dwarven Air Force. If you don't, it'll punish you, and that's just what happened. I love Samurai Warrior's build in some respects. The Hell Cannon pick against Grombrindle could have been backbreaking if he had some way to protect the Hell Cannon. You know, like a Lord on a Dragon or a Manticore, anything like that. It was a really good pick by Samurai Warrior, the fact that it was on that map, so he could hide from cannons, but alas, he didn't have the tools for the gyros, and that basically just caught him the game. So, GG, well played. All right, so next on the list, we have the Wicked One himself. Wicked Z, you're up, brother. The last one of the stream here. Let's get you in here. Let's see what schemes you got. So Wicked D's coming. And, oh, Wiki Dicky. Is that him? Okay, yeah, it's him. Okay. I just didn't reckon. I thought the picture was different than what I had seen, so... all right, so let's go ahead and update the board. So Grombrindle currently has 2, trailing Xiphos by 1. Hey, I'm doing really good, TNT Moose. Thanks for joining. the dwarves sell propane accessories, apparently so. Hey, Shetland, how's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. Haven't talked to you in a while. Welcome to the stream. Dude, the Jawi just went hard in the paint there. Oh my goodness. They had the Gyrocopter Doom Squad. So for the next map, let's do Blue Retriever. So Grombrindle's picking dwarves once again, feeling bad for that Skaven game earlier, and he bans High Elves. And what else is he gonna ban? And Dark Elves. Hey, Xiphos, are you still here, by the way? If you are, let me know in chat. Yeah, so if Xiphos wins this, if Grombrindle wins this, we'll have, if Xiphos is still around, him and they can play for the grand title of the stream. If Wicked wins it, we'll cycle a little bit and have him play a couple more games until he loses, just to give him a chance to tie the score. I haven't done a dwarf campaign in a long time. Hey, Shetland. A delayed train. Oh, that sucks, dude. Hopefully it's just like a short crosstown train and not like some epic trip. But yeah, glad to have you here, man. Yeah, YouTube is cracking down pretty hard on content for like kids, like younger audiences. Like every YouTuber now is getting this. You get this like warning when you log in now, and it says like you have to declare your channel as like a kid-friendly channel or not one. And obviously, I put mine as an adult channel. You know, because obviously the subject matter is pretty violent, plus the way I speak is a little bit crude. So yeah, but the ones that do declare themselves as kid-friendly channels are going to be like subject to really extreme scrutiny, which is probably good, obviously. But I'm just saying there's a lot of changes on YouTube, not always for the worse, but yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah. Oh, Battle for Middle-earth. Yes. Xiphos, you down to play him if he wins? But if Wicked wins, then we'll cycle back through. We'll figure it out from there. Wicked's got schemes, though, and it looks like he's going Tomb Kings. Must be getting pretty late in France, though. What time is it? Like 11:30 at night? Give or take, yeah. Just a little crude. I know. It's definitely not. So, Tomb Kings. Tomb Kings have some good tools against dwarves, like using scorpions. You know what I would do if I were playing against Grombrindle? Knowing his playstyle, I would probably bring like a couple carrion to shut down gyrocopters. I would bring double Tomb Scorpion, Arc in the black to fade Abuna Ironbreakers. And then, would I bring a Bone Giant? A Boner Giant could be pretty good, actually. I don't know, hard to say. But yeah, those are like the core elements I would bring. Arc and Buna against Ironbreakers is actually really good. It's true, Shetland, you can't. No, Shetland, it's hopeless, man. We shall see, Xiphos. Yeah, it's getting pretty late. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't curse often. I don't curse Anthony Zero, but like the way I sometimes joke is like kind of like has like crude inflections and like, you know, undertones. Yeah. Kids don't have any nautical knowledge. Speaking like a sailor would confuse them. Yes, it would. That's pretty good, man. Yeah, no, yeah, Boris, for sure. There's a lot of shady stuff on YouTube. The European Night Owls lurk. I gotta get ready for my 40k game after this. Gotta pack up my army. Prepare for battle with the foul. Well, I'm fighting another Chaos player. He's actually a really awesome guy. Sorry about that notification, guys. So Grombrindle is ready. Both players are good. Looks like. What sort of foul dwarven box shall we experience today? Shetland Apache says, all my money on the dwarves here. This is a matchup is hard for the Tomb Kings. It is hard for them, yeah. Yeah, Fatarek Charge being one of them, says Cyphos, yeah. My day's going really well, Caboose. My hands are starting to hurt pretty good because we're getting a little bit late in the day. But, I don't know, Tomb Kings have, like, Tomb Scorpions are really good. And Arkin's really strong. He can drop skeletons on top of artillery and bows. It used to be dwarf favored. I don't know, but the new round, I haven't really seen this matchup since the new Runes of Wrath and Ruin came to the table, so I don't know how that's going to affect it, but we'll find out. Epic music starts to play. Everyone looking at the corner of the screen, what for? Flying Taco wants Empire at War 2. I can see it in chat. Wicked D coming up with the fattest of schemes. There's got to be Tomb Scorpions. There's got to be. But, like, Grombrindle almost always plays a dwarf box. So, like, it's kind of like, it's how, you know, Lotus Moon used to be. It's like, he always played Kite, but regardless of you knowing it's coming, it's still hard to deal with. It can be, but Lotus Moon actually plays, you know, a lot of people think he just plays just Kite, but he's, like, really good at a bunch of different styles of play. I definitely... Oh, yes. Let's see if we load in quickly here. I'm hosting a battle, Rayhide. We're doing King of the Hill today. So basically we have players from my tournament Discord just joining and playing. And yeah. Oh, got it. Meme Daddy. What would you say is the most solid faction since Warhammer 2 came out? Dark Elves have like just been consistently good, I think. There's like never been a time in which Dark Elves have been bad. Yeah. Oh, yeah, got it. What's in the box? Okay, be right back, guys. 1 second. All right, my friends, I'm back. Let's do this. Let us end this glorious stream with a bang. For the dwarves, okay, he's playing a pretty different style of play, so it does not look like it's going to be a dwarf box. So he's fooling us all. Miners with blasting charges, very good against Tomb Kings. They're even Tomb Guard quality infantry. They take a lot of damage from the blasting charges, and they can hold their own against skeletons, so I like that quite a bit. 4 Thunders in the back, and it looks like for his Lord choice, he does have a Rune Lord with the Rune of Wrath and Ruin just for slows. He's got Longbeards in the back, which again, pretty good sustainability once the miners break down, and triple Iron Drake with the Trollhammer Torpedo. That is a badass build. That is badass. I'm excited for this. And now for the forces of the Tomb Kings, it looks like Wicked D, our very own mod here, going to be coming in with Skeleton Warriors, and in the back he's got double Tomb Scorpion. He's got Cetra. Oh man, this is nasty too. And double Necrotect with the Arkin the Black on a horse. So he's got a lot of mobility, chariot play, good armor piercing for sure, a lot of angles to threaten with, and he does also have a couple carrying as well. It's going to be good. This is going to be good. So both players certainly have the tools to win this. And on this map, Blue Reach River, there's certainly room for posturing. you know, he's going to be able to hide his constructs. Granted, there's no dwarven cannon, so it doesn't really matter. It's just going to be advancing and basically picking your timings. But yeah, the double necrotech going to be good with the scorpions for sure. Going to be some fat heals. Is he doing an ogre formation? I don't know. This is like kind of how I would deploy. I would do a build similar to this, like what Grombrindle's doing, but I wouldn't bring the Trollhammers. I'd probably just bring 4 Thunders, maybe like 1 Trollhammer with some Slayers. Because he doesn't have any Slayers. He's really relying on his gun line to do most of the heavy lifting, but... Most underrated units? Yeah. I'm going to probably do like the best Lords of Magic. Next will be my next video. And we'll see what happens. So, good luck, have fun. Sportsmanship being dropped across the board. I love it. It's true. You don't see many dwarf women. Yeah. Oh my god. I love the Gimli quote there. And here come the Tomb Kings through the forest. The double necrotech on the chariot kind of reminds me of double high elf nobles. Like that used to be really common against dwarves. But the new Rune of Wrath and Ruin, I don't know. Like if you slip up for 1 second against that many, you know, Iron Drakes, you're going to be in some trouble for sure. But I know Wicked's been practicing quite a bit, and he's ready to party. So here he comes with his main legion. It'd be kind of be an interesting thought, like to just not bring a front line against dwarves and just bring like a bunch of you know, skeleton archers or something to try and like force the dwarves forward. But I don't know, because the blasting charges are so brutal here. But anyways, this map usually makes for pretty big, epic, long battles. So the dwarves are going to square up, obviously. The Tomb Kings are going to be coming to them. And that's going to be that. So we'll see if grudges are satisfied or grudges are made. The Tomb Kings, of course, led by their King Cetra. We'll see if he serves, or if he surfs, or if he sinks, or any other, you know, play on words here you want to have. Dwarves are going to scoot forward a little bit. Tomb Kings, of course, using the forest to the best of their abilities. Yeah, double Tomb Scorpion here. Arc in the Black does have... he doesn't have Buna, actually. I think Buna's pretty good against dwarves, against Ironbreaker play, but Spirit Leech is always good, and Soul Blight is also quite nice against armor, so still a good choice. Because, you know, the chariots here, Necrotech chariots, don't have the best AP values themselves, so we'll see how those bad boys go. Zypho says this is going to be really tough for the dwarfs. You think so, based on the builds? Yeah, I would like to see Dragonback Slayers at least, like something that can pin down the constructs and chariots and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see that, but alas, it's going to be a bunch of Thunders, and I mean, has a lot of potential, but still, it's not going to be easy. Greenskins, oh yeah, it'd be awesome if they got Grom the Paunch. That'd be really fun. That'd be really cool. Hey, and we got Robert Johnson becoming a member here on the channel. Robert, thank you so much, man. Glad you're enjoying the content, and yeah, appreciate it, Robert. Welcome, and hopefully you enjoy your emojis and all kinds of fun stuff. Kotep on a Casket of Souls or Bone Giants, it's circumstantial. The Bone Giants, I actually love Bone Giants in a couple matchups. I love them versus Skaven against High Elves. Like, I think they have a lot of niches, because it takes like Bolt Throwers like a year to kill a Bone Giant. And Skaven Artillery can't trade with them effectively because Bone Giants just wreck the Warp Lightning Cannons. So here they come. The Dwarves advancing as well, both players advancing. Tomb King's going to want to get a bit of a surround here. Oh, it's not actually Cetra. Yeah, it's not Cetra. God, I'm dumb. Sorry, it's Arc in the Black. I even said it was Arc in the Black and then said it was Cetra. My apologies. I saw the Sphinx and I saw it looked like something was riding it, so I just assumed Cetra. But so the Cameron War Sphinx has a nice little position here. If it wants to like go through the tree line, I actually think that's kind of cool. So if he wants to, he could run up and through the trees and then collapse down on this flank here. Tomb Scorpion's taking a bit of a circuitous route through the forest as well. Going to probably be hammering this position, but basically the most important thing here for Wicked is going to be his timing. He needs to make sure to like time everything to be pushing in like in an efficient way. So like all his stuff hits at the same time, because if he trickles in any way, the dwarves are going to be able to Rune of Wrath and Ruin, pick it off, and then, you know, switch on to the next target. So Tomb Scorpion's coming in, Chariot's coming in, like it all needs to push in at once. So in the meantime, Arc in the Black hiding in the back, looking like he's not going to be engaging quite yet. Dwarves with their opening salvos here against the Tomb Guard. Oh, there are Tomb Guard in the front, so you guys will get to see the Tomb Guard will do some work. So the Rune of Wrath and Ruin has gone down, the Master one, on the Cameron War Sphinx, and here come some of the Trollhammer Torpedoes and the Thunders. Cameron War Sphinx, honestly, might just want to like run and hide behind the trees now, because it's going to get hammered pretty hard if it keeps sitting here. Blasting Charge is going down, and look at the damage it does to Skeletons and Tomb Guard. It's really, really cost-effective. Those miners doing a great job. So some Carrion swooping in, attacking Thunders. The Cameron War Sphinx just taking a beating. The beating of the Ancestors. And Necrotechs have charged into the flanks as well. They have gotten into some of the Trollhammer Torpedoes and whatnot, but there's a lot of stuff he needs to shut down. The Tomb Scorpions need to get back there because there's no Slayers. So if you can effectively get like a cost-effective unit on top of every Dwarven unit here, then you're going to be good. Like, oh, looks like a fat caster, Soul Blight going down as well. Going to be neutering some of those guys. But here you can see the firepower coming in from the Trollhammer Torpedoes and company, really melting that Cameron War Sphinx and actually putting the bounce of power pretty massively in the favor of the Dwarves early. Over here, you can see Necrotex and company are trying to get into the gun line, but Wicked really needs to make sure to get all of his assets like pushing in and just like one thing on everything. Another issue being is that the dwarves are winning the infantry fight in such a dominant manner that it's going to be tough. You're going to have to deal with all that dwarven infantry too. So Trollheimer torpedoes shooting in, unleashing salvos of fire. Some carrion are also poking their backs, kind of inhibiting them a little bit, but here it comes. Fire, reload, fire! Are they going to get the shot off as the Khemrian War Sphinx gets in there? No, they're not. Sphinx does get in. He's crumbling himself, but probably too little too late. Those guys will probably be able to finish him off. So in the back, the Necrotex are doing a good job. Wicked's doing a solid job kind of penetrating the back line a little bit. Spirit Leech going down as well, and a nice skeleton summon. It's going to be tar pitting quite a few of those forces. The Tomb Scorpions, one of them is up here on the hill. And I don't know where the other Tomb Scorpion is. Did he forget it? No, he didn't. Maybe it died already. Maybe it got focused down by the Trollheimer torpedoes. I think it did. Man, so he lost 2 of those already. So nice Ushopti summon going down as well, right on top of the Trollheimer torpedo. So finally, he's getting into the lines. He's causing some good disruption, but I think he may have lost. No, the other Scorpion is alive. So there's one here and there's one here. And this is good. I mean, if you could just sit on top of the gun lines, break them, and then cycle charge with chariots, he can pull this game back. That Ushopti summon there quite good. And of course, the Dwarven army was going to generate some pretty good value initially, but, you know, sustained combat is where it may have an issue against Tomb Scorpions and things like that. So the Khemrian War Sphinx coming back in. It probably just wants to get on the Sunder line. The Ushopti should be able to shut down these Trollheimer torpedoes here, but the Dwarves are securing guns just all across the board here. These Sunders are getting in position, and they're gonna sing and definitely punish this Khemrian War Sphinx pretty hard. So here it comes. And the Khemrian War Sphinx is at -14, -29. But guys, Wicked's pulling this game back in terms of the bounce of power. It's almost back towards the middle. So up here on the hill, you can see the 2 Tomb Scorpions going to be feasting on the souls of these Thunders, who are afflicted by the Soul Blight, so their armor is going to be a little bit lower here. The Necrotech Chariot's still doing a good job running over some of these troops, but the Dwarves are securing a pocket over here, which was a little bit dangerous. And once that Ushopti summon wears off, these Trollheimer torpedoes will be back online, these guns will be back online. Arkin the Black is hit with a Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Oh no, Arkin! He's in the danger zone! Oh, the Trollheimer torpedoes blasting Arkin in the face! Oh, he's getting massacred! He's literally just lost like 60% of his HP in one go. The curse is on. Really, really nice isolation there by Grombrindle. Beautiful play. He sees the blood in the water. He goes for it. That was really good. But guys, the bounce of power is like back towards the middle. There's a chance that, you know, with the Restores and the Tomb Scorpions, the Dwarves are looking pretty tattered as it pertains to their gun lines. Granted, they still have a lot of stuff, like just general infantry and Longbeards, so we'll see how it goes. So Tomb Scorpion still working on the high ground. Arkin the Black paying the Bone Toll. Paying the Bone Toll super hard. And you can see Arkin the Black here at 9 leadership. If those Trollheimers shoot, oh, Arkin, oh no, he's going down. And Arkin just gets taken down in a torrent of Dawi firepower as those Iron Drakes just freaking roasted Arkin into another dimension. Absolute insanity here. So you can see here the Tomb Scorpion's going to be surging down. It's still not over. The double Tomb Scorpion and the Necrotex certainly bring a lot of pressure to the battlefield, but those Trollheimer torpedoes, even in a beleaguered, tired state, just devastating damage. Just absolutely devastating. So I'm going to take my headphones off. Kind of weird casting with headphones. I don't like it. So anyways, here you can see the Tomb Scorpion's going to be bouncing back and forth, but the thing is the Dwarves like have taken a lot of damage, but their guns are like pretty good across the board. So yeah, I don't know. And you can see the Necrotex getting Last Samurai here. I have to say, Wicked almost came back. That was some outstanding like resurgence play. He was doing such a good job bouncing back and forth, but you know, Grombrindle did a great job as well. He was perpetually making sure to spread out his guns, getting that good crossfire, and his timing with that Trollheimer torpedo firepower was just beautiful. And now you can see the Necrotex going to be paying the Troll Toll, and the Tomb Scorpions will grind, but they're not going to be able to deal with all this stuff. It's just far too much. Arkin paid the Bone Toll hard. He paid that Dawi toll. Palpatine goes down the... yeah, he got shafted. Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. Well played to both players, though. That was actually a really fun game. That was a long one. That was almost like 10 minutes long. That was quite a battle. Tomb Scorpion crumbling. So Xiphos, you're up. So Xiphos and Grombrindle are now tied, and we're at the end of the stream. So I figured a good way to end this, even though my hand will probably regret it, is to stretch out the stream a little bit longer, and Xiphos and Grombrindle will fight one battle to decide who is the king of the hill for today. And we'll see what happens. Well played. Wicked's build was awesome. I loved it. It had answers for everything. Yeah, it's just, that was a lot of firepower. It's like, if the Dwarves are worried about their back line being stormed, just bring more back line. No mirrors. No, bad mirrors. Bad. So very well played to those two fine gentlemen. So currently, Grombrindle's up 3 here. He's tied for first, and now we're going to have Xiphos come in for a finale. So Xiphos, you're up. So let's see if the Grombrindle will be the tyrant of today, or if Xiphos is going to maintain the throne. I don't know where you are on my friends list. My hand's tired, so hopefully you can find the game. Let's put you on the... put you on Prague. I think that's a cool map. No Dwarf Mirror, please. Please don't. May the best dwarf win. You guys don't encourage it. Don't. Okay, I'll find you on the list if it makes it easier. Come on, Zyphos, join the game. I know you're here. I'm looking. There he is. All right, there he is. Cool, he's in. So Grom, pick, and bands. And we'll go, and we're going to be on Prague here. Should be fun. They should just do double dwarf boxes and see who wins. 2 boxes slowly moving towards each other. Oh my god, please don't. Like, if they just brought, like, double runesmith and, like, mass ironbreakers and just fought, I would literally just AFK. I would just be like, I'm going to go paint in the living room. I'm just going to go play with my dogs. Zyphos says, hey, Dwarf Master. Let's see. Let's see if the dwarves can handle the elves here. We have the metaphorical battle, perhaps, if Grombrindle stays on his dwarves. This is the battle for the stream. Runelord chasing Runelord? No, please stop. So he picks dwarves and he bans high elves and dark elves. So that leaves Zyphos with wood elves if he wants to. I don't think he'll take that. Maybe he would. I'd be interested to see how he would deal with dwarves, although it'd probably be pretty painful to watch. So we'll see what he picks. No, I would make it a best of 3, but I gotta go do some other stuff, and my hand is starting to hurt, so we're keeping it in the true King of the Hill fashion, and that is just a best of 1, so yeah, it's fine. War of the Beard remake. No, high elves are banned. He banned high elves and dark elves, so the only elf that can be played is going to be wood elves, which do have a hard time against dwarves in my experience. Zyphos is like, right. He's like, oh, those were my picks. How is he going to deal with this? Sees the memes production is like, Zyphos, please. Oh my god, Ironbreaker's fine. Oh, he's going wood elves. I guess I have to. Oh my god, wood elves versus dwarves. I think Zyphos has a pretty good build for this. So, start when ready. They've wronged us. Ungrim Drawkite, says Shellan. Oh my god. You guys want the Ungrim Drawkite? Good morning, 87. Thank you for the kind words, man. Well, I'm excited here. We have the classic... look, Grombrindle already had a build ready. He's like, I'm ready. No, there's not going to be mammoths. Dwarves don't ride mammoths. Oh my god, imagine dwarves riding mammoths with, like, thunderers on top, like in the crow's nest. That would be sweet. That would be heavy metal. Oh. I'm just sitting down here and there, guys, because I'm at a standing desk. Beastman and Skaven are both great here, but Zyphos loves his elves, so he's doing it. He's going with the wood elves. I'm surprised. I actually thought he would pick Beastman or something. But I know he like mains in the elf factions. It is a classical match. I feel like it's more classic as dwarves versus high elves, but Orion Rush. An Orion Rush would be pretty cool. But I don't know, because there's a couple ways to play this. One of them is very obnoxious. It's kind of like just use a bunch of stalking Way Watchers and like Arrows of Kurnus to like pick apart the Dwarven artillery and then just like force them out of their box. And it's like, it's pretty painful to watch. Or you can do like rush builds. I don't know. There's a couple ways to do it. Organ gun mounted on a mammoth. That would be so freaking cool. How hard would that be to mod? Probably pretty hard. Dwarf box versus leaf box. But Arrows of Kurnus are really good. So basically, you get a Glady, you get a Way Watcher, or Way Stalker, whatever the hell they're called. And you use Arrows of Kurnus, which in many circumstances actually one-shot artillery pieces. So you can kill the Dwarven cannons very quickly. And then you just like slowly pick them apart with like Way Watchers. And I mean, Dwarves have some great tools though. Like even Quarrelers are like shielded and armored and pretty good at trading missile play. So there's a bunch of ways to do it. There's a bunch of ways to do it. Starfire Shafts, yeah, they can be good. They're cheap AP arrows for sure. I mean, if he wants to go that route, he can. I actually am a huge fan of Mel Gibson here too. Even though I believe he does magic damage, he still has good AP and he can kill Thorgrim. And on top of that, his Vortex abilities aren't bad against like Dwarven defensive formations. There's a bunch of ways to play it. A mammoth being carried by shield bearers. Oh my god. Thank you guys for sticking through the stream. It's been a pretty balls deep one today. We're like almost 3.5 hours in, so this is the fate of Middle Earth is to be decided today. I play Orion Rush or Double Dragon. Yeah. I think Orion's quite good. He can fight Thorgrim. But Thorgrim fights right back. So you could see Xiphos is more thinking about the build here. He's probably like, how do I want to do this? Do some hand stretches here. Oh, guys, it's been a good one. It's been a good run. Thank you guys for joining today. I'll go play some 40K tonight, and then tomorrow I'll probably have to catch up on some videos, but we'll do it to it. We'll do it to it. This is going to be a literal dwarf fortress. The dwarves annoying elves and cutting down the trees they like. I know. Wouldn't that be funny if they did that as like a taunt? You could like chop down the trees. That would actually be kind of a neat feature if you could like order certain types of infantry to chop down trees, like in forests and stuff like that. Just like keep your opponents from getting them later. Take down those trees. Or if they could be like destroyed by like fire cannons and things like that. Destroyable terrain. Oh, that'd be interesting in multiplayer. Emu Warlord. This is the last one, brother. You just have to hold the line a little bit longer. Nature versus industry. Who's gonna win? I don't know. I feel like true industry is like Empire more so because they're like, it's just men. Dwarves are probably more industrious, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Hold, Emu, hold. So a little bit of load-in time here shouldn't be a problem. Same as usual. This battle would be as if orcs didn't interrupt Thorin's company quarrel with the elves. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, well played, Wicked. That was a great game, man. I actually really liked your build, too. I thought it was really solid. Necrotex and the all right, guys, so let's oh my god, look at this build. Oh my god, he's fighting fire with fire. Oh my god. All right, guys, so he's coming in with Grombrindle, the white dwarf, with smoke bomb, all of his good items, 2 slayers. So he's got slayers and slayers to deal with cav units, but the rest of his army is all bows and guns. So it's going to be quarrelers, it's going to be thunders, it's going to be bugman's rangers. Oh, what a heroic dwarf army. I'm so excited to see if this works against Xiphos. Oh my god. Are you guys seeing this? It's just like a massive wall of dwarven bows and guns with no infantry. Wow. Okay. So for Xiphos, he's got a Glade Lord, Prevenoth Rema, Way Watchers for sniping, obviously. And in the back line, he's got Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. Did they plan this? I feel like they just were like, hey, let's both just not bring infantry. We also have a Spellsinger, a Beast in the back, Spellsinger, and 1 group of War Dancers, probably to bring out later, but oh my god. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't think this is not a meme build the dwarves are bringing. I think it's like a tech build against mass Wood Elf, kite. It's like, I just have so many shielded archers and like durable dwarven missile units, like come and get it. It's not, I don't think this is not a meme. Yeah. This is going to be nuts. The only thing it's missing is a flamethrower, right? The Iron Drakes. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. This is going to be quite interesting to watch. Jesus. This is a Daka match. A Dwarven Daka build. New age stuff. Yeah, Shetland, I agree. I think this is a good build here. I think this dwarf build has teeth. Like, he can usually outlast the Wood Elf firepower, right? Because of his most of his missile units either regenerate in the form of Bugman's Rangers or they are shielded. It's the Warhammer recreation of the Battle of Somme. We'll see. The perfect finale does not exist. I know, and it's funny because like this isn't even a meme. This is like both players trying to like, scheme against one another. So both players obviously have to be attackers here. So you can see the Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts have to move forward. Both players are moving. Oh my god. This is going to be... Yeah, if we're going to have a best of one to end all best of ones, let it be this one. So the Dwarven Ranger Corps going out, he can see the Glade Guard. He can see all these guys just fine. And the Way Watcher is probably going to be doing a flank overload with the dragon, so they're going to come over here and just like try and pick off like stuff and work their way up, so they're not vulnerable to the concave missile fire. So the first of the Dwarven missiles shooting in, getting some decent firepower into the Spellsinger of Beasts. And the range, I think, advantage goes to the Wood Elves. 170, yeah, 160 from most Dwarven missiles, but you know, the Glade Guard aren't going to take the damage in the face too well. Nice breath attack from Xiphos right there. He's able to hit those Thunders pretty good. Get some decent poke on them, but he does take damage in the face right back, so probably still a better trade, though. And he doesn't have healing, though. Xiphos has no healing, so any damage he takes on the dragon or anything else is permanent. I believe he doesn't have a life caster hiding in the trees, does he? No. Oh, he does. He has life caster. Yeah, okay, with regrowth, just for the dragon, probably. So the dwarves are advancing. Here come some Way Watchers. Oh, these Way Watchers are going to eat it. Oh, God, just taking blasts right to the face. That's painful. Oh, Xiphos lost so much there on the Way Watchers. Oh, but they unleash a volley, but at what cost? Way Watchers are very, very expensive. So he's able to Shrek those Way Watchers pretty good, taking quite a bit of firepower on the retreat. On the far side, some light skirmishing as well. The Napoleonic battles are underway as the Thunders just, honestly, just keep pressing up against the Wood Elves here. Like, you have the durability. The Dragon's going to be swooping in, going to try and break the Thunder here. He knows he has the regrowth, so he can kind of fall back and get those heals. Bugman's Rangers have scooted up as well, now shooting at the Glade Guards. And yeah, that Dragon, though, the Thunders are a really good inclusion because they're much better at dealing with single entities. And Xiphos' Glade Lord just getting pounded by the Dwarven Firepower. The Way Watcher's getting pounded as well. Oh man, he needs to get that regrowth over there, and his life caster's like on the other side of the map, so he's going to have to do a big circular route to get there. And Thunders don't care if you juke, really. They'll just, like, you know, make pretty good contact regardless. The Glade Guard are being pushed back, but they've gotten some good focus fire. Some of the Bugman's Rangers are being forced down, but now the Quarrelers are kind of scooting up very methodically. Grumbrindle waits in the shadows. And focus fire coming on the other side, man, every time Xiphos comes up, he's taking some heavy firepower from these Thunders who are just tearing into the Spellsinger. It looks like Xiphos is trying to actually focus down the Thunders. I guess he figures he can juke the other ones and get a little bit more value there. But yeah, across the board, it's looking to be pretty advantageous for the Dawis. They still have a ton of stuff here. I mean, just look at this. And Slayers, too. You have to deal with those Slayers at the end of the day, and they're no joke. So Slayers are coming in to peel this Manticore. They're probably going to be able to rampage it. And at that point, you know, things will be going pretty good for the Dawi. It looks like guard mode has been enabled for these Thunders, and I think they're going to be taking some pot shots against the Spellsinger, who's in the danger zone for sure. But there is a regrowth in the forest. Dwarves are taking damage back as well, though. Over here taking a little bit of work. So yeah, this Dwarven line needs to just kind of move up in this general direction and just, I mean, I know he knows the Way Watchers are over there somewhere, so perhaps that's what he's really focusing on, but the dwarves are showing the elves the firepower the firepower they possess, it would appear. Spellsinger and Beast falling back. There still is one more Manticore summon. That Manticore summon is gone, so you can see the Manticore shattered. Slayers could honestly chase. Like, Deepwood Scouts are pretty quick, but if you can find some Glade Guard and start like pursuing them, it wouldn't be a terrible idea. And yeah, the Bugman's Rangers are being picked, but like every volley of ammunition that's used on the Dwarven like crews here, Bugman's Rangers are exponentially more durable than these Wood Elf Archers. And there's just so many left. The Thunders are just unleashing torrents of fire here into the Way Watchers, who are shaken, taking a beating. And the Elves are kind of having to retreat a little bit. You can see they're falling back across the board, but there's only so much room to fall back. If you go to the corner of the map, like there's this little area here, but like once they get pushed into that corner by this Dwarven firepower, it's going to be pretty wild. So over here you have the this is such an absurd match. Bugman's Rangers and Quarrelers shooting downtown, going after these Deepwood Scouts. The Dwarven Thunders here should be back online again to put some peppering into these Deepwood Scouts as well. And here come the Wood Elves actually pushing out of the forest with some War Dancers. So thinking about maybe using those guys, maybe to kind of overload this Dwarven position. But Slayers should be able to fight War Dancers in a relatively efficient manner. And the Dwarven Doom Wall just moves up. Like, it's just this inexorable march. This is like, if Death Guard had a playstyle in Total War, like if they ever do Total War 40k, it would be like this, just a wall of like slow-moving heavy metal gunfire. This is very like Death Guard-esque. So the dwarves here are going to be shooting. Again, going after the Deepwood Scouts, who are going to be taking fat volleys to the face here. So you can see just losing 4 models, taking a lot of HP damage. Thunder is just acing it, man, just doing so much damage over the course of this battle. And Xiphos is kind of being forced back a little bit. I don't think he was expecting this. And you can see here the dwarves like just like, all right, if you want to kite me, like screw it, I'm not going to bring infantry. It would have been interesting to see a rush build deal with like a Wood Elf rush build. So the dragon here is circling a little bit. Ammunition's pretty okay for both sides. No one's really in the danger zone yet. The dwarves are advancing here. A nice regrowth going down on the dragon there, and the second Manticore summon has come into play. So that is the second Manticore summon. That's going to be it. There's not going to be any more schemes in that regard. Still shooting at the Glade Lord. Grombrindle's nearby as well. Gromby probably wants to come over here to defend this archer line because I think the dragon's going to die for this. Or no, breath attack. So breath attack going downtown. Pretty good. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was really good. That did a ton of damage. Basically killed those Quarrelers just outright. But the Dwarven guns downtown are taking out the Spellsinger of Beast, who's at 2 leadership right now. In the wavering zone, Slayers are coming in as well to help out with that position, but this Dwarven position gets taken out pretty effectively. That was a really good play by Xiphos. He's able to get a ton of value against a bunch of very healthy units. So Grombrindle's moving as well. Thunder's closing into the position. For the most part, the Dwarves are winning the skirmish engagements here. But, you know, the Dragon is something. But you also have to remember that, like, eventually you're going to have to deal with Grombrindle, plus the Slayers. And it looks like most of the ammunition is going into finishing off the different ranged units. So the Dwarven gunline still chasing down the Way Watchers on the edge of the map. A lot of firepower going into the Glade Lord here. Manticore is going to be disappearing and shattering here in a moment. But yeah, that's a lot of firepower. Glade Lord's taking a bit of work. And here you can see the Dwarven gunline still scooting up, and the Wood Elves running out of space to run. They're against the edge of the map here. You can see here these Quarrelers should finish off these guys, or maybe waver them, or at least push them back. Some Slayers are in reserve, just waiting for the Way Watchers, or excuse me, the War Dancers to engage. The Manticore summon's gone, so now there's no more like summoning tricks for the Wood Elves. What you see is what you got, and it looks like the Slayers are advancing. No, they're going to stay high in sight. They're going to kind of stay back and keep defending the archers, not being too overzealous here. But now the War Dancers are going to surge out, and the Dragon's coming in for the kill here. Slayers aren't nearby, though. So if Grombrindle reacts quick enough, he should be able to get his Slayers here and do some work in that respect. Yeah, Wood Elf's really getting pushed back pretty hard, though. And Gromby's just waiting. He's just polishing his axe for that final battle. And here come the Slayers. Oh, but oh, man, Xiphos just barely able to get back up. That was really close. Had the Slayers caught him. They're not dragging back, so they couldn't have slowed him, but it's actually really good, though. Xiphos might be able to edge his way back in it. Like here, he's getting... This whole side of the battlefield's kind of being compromised. The Dwarves are obviously very slow, and they're having to move from their deployment on the far side. And all these guys here might be at caught. And here you can see a really nice... Oh, beautiful Praven Othrema on those Slayers. And now the War Dancers are going to surge in, and they're taking a lot of damage themselves. But, you know, they should have a good fight with the Slayers. But, yeah, they're going to win at this point. There's 71 of them against only 37 Slayers, so they should have a good fight. So Dwarves still continuing to advance. The Way Watchers on the far side, I think, are they here? I think the Way Watchers actually got killed and pushed off the map. So that's something to take into account. Wood Elf ammunition is running sparse, and it seems the Dwarves are much better off on ammo because they're shorter range. They haven't fired as many volleys. They've been taking a lot of volleys, but yeah, the ammunition is going to be a big factor because when Xiphos runs out of ammo here, the Dwarves are going to be just in such a dominant position. And Gromby with Smoke Bomb should be able to defeat this Dragon. Hard to say. He's got 4.3 KHP. Yeah, he should be able to win that. So he's going right now. He might actually try and pop a Smoke Bomb or something. Some Dwarven Thunders have come back online here. Going to be turning about face, and those Brave Slayers just tanking those ladies like champs, but they're going to be meeting their end here. So here it comes, Grombrindle pushing in, going after the Glade Lord. At the very least, it's you know, something he has to deal with. He's pushing that guy back. And ammunition for the Wood Elves running very, very scarce across the board. I mean, over here we have some Way Watchers who have a fair amount of ammo left, but the Dwarven ammunition isn't a problem. They're very, very healthy. Nice Arrow of Kurnus right there, tearing through those Quarrelers. That was a really good shot. But the Dragon's just poking fire, and I would imagine Winds of Magic is pretty low at this point. He probably has enough for another regrowth, maybe one more. I don't know if he's popped his Power Stone yet, but the Thunder's still shooting here. Oh, and he gets caught by a Smoke Bomb. The Flash Bomb is popped. If Gromby gets a couple chops here, that could be game-changing. So 1,500. Oh, down to 1,900. Grombrindle hitting him for almost 600 damage. Oh, and the Thunder's right in the face of this Dragon. Gromby, oh, with the Rune Axe of Grombrindle pops. Coming for that Dragon. Oh, down to 1,100. Grombrindle karate chopping that Dragon into another dimension. And here you can see the Dragon is broken. Oh my god, the White Dwarf just bullying that beast. And the Dragon's going to run. And now he'll probably come back. Be able to get some heals if there's another regrowth. But the Dwarven gunline just moves, and the Elves are being forced back into the forest from whence they came. Here come a bunch of War Dancers, but you know, this is what Gromby's for. And also, he probably wants to pull into Slayers here. The Slayers nearby could help out. Some Quarrelers shooting as well, and here come the Slayers. The Dragon is back online, but the bounce fire is pretty heavily in the favor of the Dwarves at this point. I love it. This is probably one of my favorite games I've seen in a while. Just like the Wood Elf Kite just being like meeting its true match here. So War Dancer is taking some casualties, but so are the Slayers. Slayers are going down relatively quickly. These Thunders in guard mode trying to get another salvo off on the Glade Lord, and Grombrindle's going for it. He's trying to get that Dragon. If the Dragon breaks too much, it could actually shatter too, so... Here goes the Dragon, pulling up in the sky, 11 leadership. It should be able to get away from Gromby at this point. So the Wood Elf ammunition is about out on some of these backline troops. The Way Watchers have some left, but it doesn't matter too much. The Dwarves are just scooting forward, and they're trapped. They're trapped in the corner. These Way Watchers, just there's no escape. Drums in the deep, and they're not going to get away there. And here in the distance, you can see the Thunders just peppering that Glade Lord. There's no kite here. And let's see what they're saying. Can't do anything. Perfect counter, he says. I mean, regardless, Xiphos put up a good fight, but I just don't think he's going to be able to deal with Grombrindle. Here it comes. Satisfy the grudge! Here it comes. Oh, the Smoke Bomb! And the White Dwarf with the overhand karate chop. 600 HP on the Dragon. He's slowed. Is Gromby going to finish him? I don't know. I don't know if he is. Dragon's probably going to get away, but Grombrindle will at least probably get one more karate chop on him. Nope, nope, Dragon's getting away. He's broken, though. Thunders are going to be able to turn and shoot. He got a little bit, like, caught up on some other models or something. So the Elves are having to surge into combat, meet their end, and that's it. The Dwarves got it. Oh my god, what a game. What a counter build. That build was a very hard counter against what Xiphos brought. Oh my god. Just the glorious old man Grombrindle taking the victory. So with that, my friends, we're going to update the scoreboard to reflect it. Undertaker, Grombrindle, 4. And 4. Damn. That was the game. That was nuts. What a counter build. Oh my god. That was so gnarly. Just all shielded Dwarven missile units with Grombrindle and a couple of Slayers. Man, that was crazy. Old man. I know. Well played to both of them. So very well played to everyone who played today. That was a blast. Good games across the board. Well played to Grombrindle, who's going to be our king of the hill. Doing it for the Dwarves with 3 Dwarven victories in a row. And then, of course, for Xiphos coming in second place with a very, very good showing today. But yeah, he got counter-builded pretty hard there. And those Dwarven legs were pumping. They were pushing. And they pushed the Elves off the edge of the cliff. And yeah, that was it. So, guys, thank you so much for joining on stream today. It's been a fun 4-hour stream, quite serious. Special thanks to Alfarius, Chrysum, 1924, Ivan, Kalugan, Glassberg, Space Emperor, Captain Goofy, Mr. Jorgensen, Johnny Dingles, Italian Spartacus, and Anthony Riley for your generous donations. Also, thank you to Mr. Ricardo for the donation on PayPal. And lastly, to Robert Johnson for becoming a member on the channel. Thank you guys all so much. And again, the special thanks to the mods, of course. You know, we got Wicked, we got Misha, we got the whole crew here. Everyone who's mod. Thank you guys so much for helping out. I appreciate you guys. Like you can't imagine. Makes all the difference here, and looking forward to doing some more tournament streams. And again, guys, next tournament stream is going to be on Sunday. I'm hosting a 16-man tournament. We'll only be casting the semis and the finals, but it'll be going on Sunday. So stay tuned for that, probably around noon at some time. So Dawi's are the kings of the hill. Yeah, that's true. They live in the hills. Yeah, well played to everyone. That was really fun. It was a great one. All right, until next time, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Stay tuned for updates and enjoy this Hank Hill thumbnail. It's like so bad, the Karl Franz helmet cut out. Oh, God. It is hard to catch the streams from Australia. I know. I'll try and do some Magic streams for you guys soon. Yes. And I'm going to go figure out the ECL stuff, and we'll go from there. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on the other side. Take care.